the roots, he let the beats build, bitch. And we never out the roots, he let the beats build, bitch. And we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it G. Always be the same me. While I'm solid, boy, they can't change me. No.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? We live from the boxing section, man. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Coop, what's up? Coop.
What up?
Bro, this dude Max do all this complaining about starting on time and things like that.
And don't never be here.
Don't never be here, bro. It's like, dude, you do this every time, bro.
Hold on, I'm gonna send a link to his phone.
Yeah, I'm about to send it to KB too. Yeah, man. Well, we live, man. We chilling. It's Late Night Chronicles, man. So we just talking about whatever tonight. Joy Boxing, what's going on with you, man? Salute to you. Mexico. Mexico. If you want to join the panel, the link is in the chat. Money, what's going on, man?
What's going on there, dog?
All right, man. You know, nothing like the other one saying super heated, you know?
Yeah, man. I said, let me come in here, pop in here, man, a little bit, man, before I lay it down, man.
Well, you had a great show tonight, man.
I appreciate that, brother.
Now, is Prison Bay your bay or just...
Prison Bay, yeah, that's my, you know what I'm saying? That's my new friend, you know what I'm saying?
My little yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Why
black.
you ain't show me what she look like?
Yeah.
I'll tap y'all in, but you know what I'm saying? I'm a big person on like let motherfuckers feel comfortable in their skin. And if I tell you I ain't gonna do something, I'm not gonna do that, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes you gotta ease motherfuckers into this shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't just try to throw them in front of the spotlight and then put her under pressure. I seen, not even being on camera, I was seeing Shorty was kind of like she was feeling under pressure. She almost started crying when we was asking her questions and shit. So it's like I kind of just gauge motherfuckers and be like, okay, well, I know you want to talk, but you don't want to be seen, or you know what I mean? You don't want to put motherfuckers under the spotlight. It's like boxers. You know what I'm saying? They get under that spotlight sometimes and they crumble. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but yeah, man, I already know now that she done got on there and felt the vibe and see that motherfuckers ain't, you know what I mean, hating, and you know, it's cool it's a cool vibe.
Yeah,
She gonna fuck with us.
I'm gonna have to watch that one back, man. I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, man. It was I thought you would have got on there, and she got on there a little later, so I was hoping you would have popped on there, man. You know what I'm saying? But it ended up being a good little show, man, and we rocked out after that too.
No, we ain't gonna say little show.
It was a good show, man. It was a good show, man.
Yeah. We won't put little on nothing but brothers.
Yeah, man. He's singing funny shit. Yeah, man.
Hey, so you love her or what?
Nah, man. Again, it was no sexual conversation with us, but it is an energy and what's understood and got to be explained. And she know that.
But you met her on a dating site?
I did, but I was on there not for dating. I was on there on some networking shit, trying to drive traffic to the message.
Got a lot of us, playboy.
Nigga, I'm telling you the truth. Everybody that know.
Yeah, but some people do that though. Like they get on dating apps to
I'm gonna
get
tell
people
you
to come on their shit.
Listen, Combo been telling us about this shit. Like, man, come over there, motherfuckers be going live. You can drive traffic, right? So, you know, I meant to do it. Then Motherfucker Hollywood was like, yeah, man, they, you know what I'm saying, there's some shit on there, man. You should try to get on there, you know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, all right, let me
Dog.
get on there. And
These
that's why
niggas, bro. Oh my god, bro.
what?
I really don't like this fucking job, dude. I really
Yeah.
don't.
I thought you were talking about your kids at first.
Nah.
Like these niggas.
What happened?
Hey, but hey, I feel them though, man. 'Cause
Nah, but look it. So I got on there, right? And when I was popping there, I was talking about coming on the show and whoop. So she was interested in it, you know what I'm saying? We got to chopping it up, and past that, it was just a cool energy because we were like-minded individuals, you know what I'm saying? So, but the whole conversation wasn't based on trying to holler at her, me, or her trying to holler at me. It was just like, you know what I mean, motherfucker added me. And I was like, because I started seeing there was a lot of bots and fake shit on there. So I was just saying the same shit to everybody. Are you a real page or a fake page? You know what I'm saying? So I seen she
Good
was a real
opening line.
page. You said what?
That's a good opening line. I use that shit all the time.
Yeah, I said, all right, is this a real page or a fake page? Boom. So we got to chopping it up. And like I said, it wasn't even more about like, oh, you look so good, because obviously she's not really my type, naturally. You get what I'm saying? She's not ugly. She's beautiful, you know what I'm saying? But
she's
naturally,
bigger.
yeah, it's not even that she's bigger. No, bro. It's, y'all know me. It's not that
She's
at
just
all.
bigger
You
than
know what
what
I'm
he used to.
saying? Exactly.
She
You know what
not
I'm saying?
big.
Yeah, I got
She
you.
not, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? It was just more like, you know what I mean? Damn, you cool people. And me, just like with old girl out there in DR, like, I'm just, uh, it's hard to find cool, down to earth motherfuckers. You feel what I'm saying?
It's a fact.
So when you find a motherfucker that got good energy, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with it. It don't matter if you down right now, because motherfucker be down today and be up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know that for a fact, because like I said, I ain't even supposed to be in the position I am, but I got that determination, that mindset, that, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm always willing to give a motherfucker the benefit of a doubt, or the chance that, you know what I'm saying, you could be talking, you can mean what you say and be motivated to follow up on it, follow up and follow through.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, as far as with her though, but you know what I mean, it was just like, so then I was just telling her everything I was doing with my brand and everything. And she was like, well, actually, I know a couple people that bop, 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 bop. So I'm like, okay, well, shit, that's cool. When you know what I mean, touchdown, that will benefit me. If it doesn't come to fruition, cool. That doesn't stop my show. That doesn't stop my movement. You hear what I'm saying? That's not why I'm communicating with her, because potentially that could happen. And I'm just doing all this talking to her because I want that to be cool. Nah, that ain't that. It was just, she cool people, period. You know what I'm saying? And on top of her being cool people, she might be able to you know what I mean, do some beneficial things for me in my life. But past that, I'm not even looking at that. The only thing I'm asking her to do is engage on my podcast. And she has already done that today. And I believe that she will do that in the future. So past that, it's a win for me in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Everybody then got quiet.
And
No,
No,
man.
Sean,
fuck
Shout out
you.
to my boy Kev though, man.
She's not that
Fuck
big.
you.
She's not that big.
I'm on, y'all.
Hey, but
She's not that big.
on some real shit, bro. For that girl to have been that big, she is athletic as fuck. She was a basketball player, bro,
Mm.
and she could really fucking play. So
Hey, I seen that picture the other day. I said, this nigga had hair.
hell yeah, I did.
I
Boy,
didn't say anything.
you look
I didn't know who. I didn't know who it was, bro. I didn't want to say nothing
look
about nothing.
look at that right there, man. Look
So I
at
was
that
like,
right
bruh.
there.
Shout
Yo,
out to the
boy.
family.
Hey, man, that was a good night,
Was
man.
that
That was
outside straw hat right there?
you said what?
You guys went to straw hat?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep, had a great time. Man, you should have came. I told you should have came.
And I
Yeah,
still had a great time.
yeah, no, that was a good
You
night.
have a better time than us. Boy, we went to the cookie plug. Sheesh.
Man, it was just
Them
me and
damn
my daughter
cookies
at the
hella
house
good
to
as fuck.
ourselves. Me and my daughter at the house to ourselves with the sound bar on full blast, watching the fight. And she started getting into boxing a little bit, trying to ask me little things here and there, what was going on. I was gaming her up, so it was actually cool.
That's
That's
dope.
nice, man.
It's
Hey,
probably the
That's
first
Max.
fight
nice,
she's been
man.
engaged in. Like,
And
Dad,
happy
who you
birthday to
going
your
for? Who's
daughter too,
better?
by the way. Happy birthday
Yeah, man.
to
Oh
little
yeah.
Mexico.
Thank you, bro. She it's crazy, crazy.
Hey, Max.
Uh,
If your daughter had came to you and she said, "Daddy, I want to box. Would you support it or what?
Hell no.
No, why not?
No, I'm trying to push her towards STEM right now. She's like really into science, so I'm hoping to get her in some AP classes for science and engineering and shit.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
That's the problem, that's why that wage gap myth bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Like women just
Mm-hmm.
don't get into STEM subjects. So if she's actually interested in science enough where she's like, Dad, I already know one of my electives. I want science. I want to do this. Okay, shit. I used to be that kid too. I want to, you remember back in the day, you used to get them little projects, little circuit boards you put together, or the
Yeah.
pull these levers bullshit, and then you had dissecting frogs and like different shit. Like science is always the best, most fun, hands-on shit. So, I was like, shit, if she's interested in science, I might as well just try to push her there early. I hope her interest stays. If it doesn't, she can change later. But fuck all that boxing shit. Try to go sign up for some CTE. What the fuck you look like?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's like, that's a question. There's questions I really want to ask some of these boxers, but I know a lot of them are Kyle's friends, so I don't really want to like cross the line. But there's a lot of thought process that goes into choosing boxing as a career, and with the information you have out there, you're for sure gonna get brain damage unless you end up being a really defensive fighter. And in that case, there's only been one defense fighter ever really make a lot of money. Like that's not really a fan friendly style, So it's kind of like, where do you like to choose? Even with the NFL, I feel the same way. NFL has enough research done that it's a 98% chance you're going to get CTE when you're done with your career, but you still choose to do it. So there's got to be something a little bit like, I don't really give a fuck if I got brain damage. Like, that's kind of crazy. That's a different way of thinking.
Yeah, I think that most people don't really think about that part. They just know that it's fun or that they may have a passion for it. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't give a fuck. It's like it is what it is.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have given a fuck before I had my kid.
You
Because before I had my kid, I was thugging. I ain't give a damn day to day. But once I had a kid, I'm like, all right, shit, I kind of want to live a little longer now. Kind of want to be a little more aware of things and conscious of things. It's like, fuck. Knowing what you know now, if I had a son, I probably wouldn't want him to play football or box. I would still want him to learn how to fight, but I wouldn't want him to have a career of fighting.
Yeah. I don't know. I probably wouldn't want for my boys to box either, though. To be honest with you.
Or
I don't know.
MMA or any of that shit.
Yeah, fuck all
Football,
that.
hockey, just things that just destroy your body and your brain. You know what I mean? And then, I mean, you can still obviously the money and the fame, brings a lot of kids in at a young age. But if you have kids that are genuinely interested in like math, science, and like kind of quote unquote nerd subjects, you just gotta push them as much as you can, like toward that. Like shit, I'll put you in a camp. I'll give you this. I'll give you that. I'll pay for tutoring, because not a lot of kids are interested in that off top.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's boring. It's nerdy. Your friends call you, a nerd or fucking square for that shit. So. But that's where the money's at for real. Like you become an engineer, you getting damn near as much as the damn ball players, bro. Like
Yeah, I wish I would have got math more. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew that, but I just couldn't get through them algebra and all them weird ass math classes. So I just
Y
went with
equals Z.
all right, all the the natural classes. I could get through all the rest of the classes easily. It was just math fucked me up. So I was like, damn, I can't do that because math, I just don't get that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've always loved math. I was always good at all my subjects. Just my shit was citizenship, just talking back, getting in fights in class, talking to bitches, get up in class. I was stupid, bro. And I remember when we did the drug education in class, right? So we all there doing a little drug education in middle school. And me and my homie, I was already sitting in the back because I got in trouble for talking, right? So I'm like in the little one desk in the back by where you put your jackets and shit, like all in the back. And my homie's over there in the middle of the class. He just starts saying, "Are you high yet?" I was like in the back, like, "Are you?" We both got kicked out. Both got kicked out. Suspended for the rest of drug education. We had to just repackage to the ISS.
Santos, what's
Big
up,
dog.
man?
What it do? What it do?
What's up, Playboy?
Brother?
How's everybody?
Hey,
I'm
you
Good.
coming
telling
down May 20th, Centos, to Vegas?
I don't have any plans. I didn't. What's going on in Vegas on the 20th?
Devin
you.
Haney.
Devin Haney and Loma.
Uh, I doubt if I make that one. I got to train some. I'm getting ready to hire somebody. I got to train for the business. So
I don't know.
I doubt if I make that.
Hey, I need some shoes, Santos. I don't know if you can get them for me. Can you take orders or it's just whatever you come up on?
No, I take orders. I don't buy nothing unless it's sold already, pretty much. Now,
Hey, I need some hyper pink ducks, women's size 9.
send me a picture of what you're talking about.
Let me those are the shoes my daughter picked
I was
out
trying to.
today.
I was trying to get some hookah or something like that.
Oh, the Hoka shoes.
Hokas?
Hoka, is it
Yeah.
hookah?
Yo,
Yeah,
those shoes are comfortable as hell.
my son's mother turned me on to shoot. I thought I had them for it, but then they charged me, and then they come back and said they didn't have them in stock. I was like, what? So, she just responded. I text her, let her know. I thought your shoes were coming, but you're not getting them. I don't like them too much anyway. I just get along with it for the sake of my grandkids. And one of them type thing. But yeah, you send me a picture. They just about can get anything, man. And then I check multiple suppliers because see, I'm gonna check another supplier for her too. Because I know I've been priced by 2 different suppliers for that shoe. So they real comfortable.
Yes, very comfortable.
It must be expensive too, man, because they got a
Yes,
little
they
price.
are. Yeah, they are not cheap for real.
They're up there with like Brooks and shit. Like Brooks are always
Mm.
like at least 100 for
Okay.
everything.
Yeah. I had bought my baby
They're
mama
ugly
some
though, bro. They're
a while
ugly.
ago.
What you say now?
The Hokas are ugly though.
Yeah, they're not an attractive shoe.
They look like Skechers, but like Asian
Yeah.
Skechers.
Yeah.
Every now and then you'll find some.
Well, see, she's a heavy girl,
Oh yeah.
and so she go for shoes like that. She got a lot of sneakers.
Oh, so
I bet her room. I bet them shoes all over the place in her room.
so her feet be leaning in them like.
No, she ain't heavy like that. Where she leaning?
Oh.
I mean, she heavy, like, but she don't lean in her shoes. I already peeped them out. I be watching all that kind of stuff. But she said I mean, they look okay on her feet.
I was watching all that kind of
Yeah, I be
stuff.
watching. Yeah,
I watch a bitch feet.
But she they look normal on her feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, she a big girl though, but she don't explode it like the World Trade Building over the years.
Mm.
But anyway, I told her I was gonna check another supplier. I think the other supplier even more expensive. So yesterday's price is not today's price. And I ain't paying for nothing. I pay for it up front, but she got to pay when it get here. But yeah, so how's everybody been doing, man?
Good, man.
Good, man. How's everything down there, man, in Nashville? I'm gonna be down there soon.
Man,
Hey, man.
I've been sleep at the wheel, man. I ain't really paid them. I was in Atlanta Sunday, and I really hadn't paid in mind what's going on in Nashville. I don't look at the news or anything like that.
Man, your homeboy with that chicken, shrimp, pasta, whatever the occasion pot, man, I need some more of that.
My partner, that's who I was with Sunday, man.
Man, when I come back, when I come back, I'm ordering some of that. Hold me to that. I need some of that. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, just let me know ahead of time. He give you his card?
Yeah, I got his card. I'm telling you, I
just
ain't
hit him
even
up.
lose it either. It's at the house too, sitting right on my thing, because I knew I wanted some more of that shit.
Yeah, just hit him up. He gonna be busy. He stay busy, but he gonna be real busy. Around the 13th, 14th, around Mother's Day, because they got those graduations and all that stuff going on too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just order some of that shit randomly, just on a Tuesday. That's gonna be Tuesday dinner.
Yeah, he'll hook you up. He'll hook you up order of it, man. That's what they do, man.
He
got people just order certain dishes from, you know what I'm saying, when they don't want a full meal or whatever.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I'm already know. That's why I plan on just ordering a pot of that.
He actually look. I got a cousin that he likes a lot, right? He actually made that for her, but when he didn't sit over at my house,
Okay.
he's like, man, y'all go on get in there, man. He said, I'll make another one later or something, you know. I
Man.
told her what was up, but my cousin Trip, man. She know he married, so she ain't trying to holler at him, you know what I'm saying? But they flirt back and forth with each other.
Man, yeah, that's why that motherfucker was so good. He was trying to impress her, man. But he put the goddamn foot in that one, man.
But hey, that's what he do. Hey, man, that dude right there, man. His passion is cooking, man. And that ninja right there can cook his tail off, man. I'm telling you, man. Everything is flavored. The presentation is nice. It's edible. I mean, everything is just good, man. I never eaten anything that he's cooked that didn't taste right. The texture wasn't right. None of that. I mean, he's passionate about cooking, man. I mean, it's just what he do.
Yeah, man.
And this what he's doing is that he's doing that in his retirement. He retired from the YMCA's of Middle Tennessee, right? Used to be an exec with him, but that's what he's doing in his retirement, cooking and doing Uber.
Yeah, man. And them wings he had was just like the honey hot from motherfucking I don't know if you know about it, but it's called Number Wings in North Nashville next to TSU.
Yeah.
Man, I swear them wings taste just like number wings.
Hey, yo, what's up, family?
What's up with you?
What's up, family?
Rich, what's going on?
Hey, Money, where you from, Money? You talking about nothing but wings in North Nashville? I'm from Nashville. What are you talking? What's the conversation?
Who is it? Who is that talking?
I'm born rich, brother. I'm born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee, brother. Salute to y'all.
What's your name? Because I'm from that. I'm born and raised in Nashville too, the South Side.
But that's why I said I told him about it, but he didn't know about it. He didn't know about Number Wings right across from Family Dollar and
Family Dollar on Jefferson Street.
Yeah, come on now. Yeah.
Hey man, I salute to I'm subscribed to this channel, and I hear y'all talking about my neck of the woods, man. Salute to y'all brothers though, for real.
They appreciate it, man.
Hey, boy, Rich, you know my boy Centos. He from Nashville.
Which one is Centos?
Side
the
nigga.
one say side nigga.
Yeah,
okay.
And I be in Nashville too, man. You know, I went to TSU. I graduated from TSU, got my bachelor's and my master's from there.
Damn, brother. Salute to y'all, homie.
What part of town are you from, bro?
So I grew up in the the Parkwood, northeast Nashville. Yeah, Parkwood, Golden Valley.
Y'all used to have some bad gals out there back in the day, boy. Back in my time, so you probably younger than I am, but man, let me tell you, I know we used to call them jawbone, you know. But look, now for real, hey, it was some bad. Let me tell you, some Parkwood kept some fine, cute red bones, man. And we used to leave the South Side and go hunting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Looking for them female. That was, back then it wasn't too risky to go on another side of town. It was risky, depending on where you went. But places like Parkwood was safe though. You know what I'm saying? But going to the projects was another thing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you say that, but like coming from where I come from, we used to love to drive through the projects. Like I ain't gonna lie.
That's what everybody do. No matter what city we go to, or what, even in Nashville, no matter what we want to do, we go out of town. We looking for the projects because we trying to come up on some bras. You know what I'm saying? So that's what everybody did back then. But it's changed, man. You can't just roll like that anymore.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. We want to go where the danger was at. When I was a young nigga, they say, man, look, the projects is dangerous. So we want to go through UC, JC.
Everywhere they tell you not to go is where you want to go.
Yeah, because we knew that's where the girls was at. The women is where it's dangerous at.
It's two things you're gonna find in the projects back then. Money and females.
That's a fact.
The things you're gonna find. You know.
Hey, good shit though, man. Salute.
Hey, let me ask you this though, real quick. I'm gonna let y'all keep going, but Born Rich is Silver Sand still open?
Yeah, it's still open.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Silver Sand still open. Yes, I know.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yes,
you
I
know the
know.
owners? Okay, yeah, because I gotta
Yeah,
go
I
over
know the
there.
owners.
I gotta go over there too, man. I gotta make an early morning stop over there.
Yeah, you gotta get that. Yeah, they serve
Where you
breakfast.
originally from, Money? Where you originally from, brother?
I'm originally from Minnesota, but I moved down to Nashville in like 2010.
To go to college?
Yep, came down there to TSU.
Damn, brother. So hold on, tell me this. So in Minnesota, y'all look at TSU like a true what? HBCU?
Yeah, well, I got tricked to go to Knoxville College in Knoxville, man. That was like supposed to be a HBCU, but they wasn't accredited. So I did my little undergrad. I mean, I did my little generals at Pellissippi. Then I
Yeah.
transferred to TSU because of homecoming. I went down there on homecoming, and I had never seen so many
Turned you out.
beautiful. Man,
Turned them
never
out.
seen so
Yeah,
many
homecoming be
beautiful women in my
on point every
life.
time. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
turned them out.
And I
Turned them
didn't
out,
leave
didn't
for
decide
10,
nigga.
15
Yes,
years.
sir. It'll do it every time.
Hey,
Hey,
They do it every time.
hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Homecoming.
Let me tell you about them
Turned
homecomings.
them boy
These females,
out,
I
man.
don't care how cold it is. I don't care how cold it is. When it's tailgating time, I don't care how cold it is. As long as that sun out, ain't no
Nah.
female covering her butt up. She gonna have a
That's a
jacket on
fact.
that go down her waist, and it ain't going past that. The bubble's out.
That's a fact.
The bubble was out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's just man. It's now. I'm gonna tell you something. I was very thrown off about a few years ago, back in 2017. Man, it was the last time I went down to the stadium down there for the homecoming festivities before the game, right, and during the game. You know, a lot of folks don't even go in the game. We ain't got tailgate. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm out there, man, walking around on the side over there of the stadium where the bridge is. And a lot of folks over there, chilling, doing whatever they do. Man, I walk around town, we on Hope Patrol, you know what I'm saying?
Hi guys.
So me and my son was together.
Hey, Damo.
Man, look here, man. The AKAs, they must got sued some years ago or something, man, because they used to discriminate. They ain't discriminating at all. Now they used to be red bones all the way.
No. You know what it
now
is
they
now?
dark skin, fat,
Yep.
everything. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know what it is now at TSU? What it is now is just like what they do is just like if you sign up, you damn near could cross. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what they've been doing. Like they did a line of 100 and something. Like, man, I'm telling you, it was like 3 different lines of 30 or something. This shit was crazy now. It ain't like you said, it ain't no discriminating. They don't get to choose. They just if you sign up and you meet the requirements, you can get on. That shit crazy.
It's crazy, man. Look here, in 2017, man, I saw a little section of AKAs, man, look like Revenge of the Nerds, man. I was mad as so good, man. I said, what the
They
crap
the
is
ones
this?
holding up the GPA.
Man, exactly. That's what it is. I knew. I said they getting the grades. That's what that is. And man, they look. Oh my god.
Damo, how you gonna pop on here and you didn't even come and see my Prison Bay interview?
I was at work all day. I've been doubling. I was there since 8 o'clock. I just got off.
Did you talk to Divine and let her know that I miss her?
No, I've been at work all day.
Dang, you didn't make an exclusive text just for Money?
That's
Like,
right.
damn, Money said he missed you. Dang. All right, I didn't mean to cut y'all off. My bad,
Oh,
brothers.
you good?
I
Hey, Born Rich.
What up, homie?
How old are you, bro?
39, brother.
Oh, you What you go to Maplewood?
I graduated from White Creek.
White Creek?
Yeah.
Either one of them, it don't matter. Red Bone
Yeah, same thing.
White Creek and Maplewood. Same.
Yeah,
Hey,
thing.
White Creek and Maplewood's kind of known like Baby TSU, because they prepping them girls. They were the only 2 schools that had majorettes, you know what I'm saying?
My.
No high school had majorettes, but those 2, man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
They get them prepped for TSU, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, they had some bad bras going to them schools, man.
The city was turned up. The city was turned up, homie.
Yeah.
What's up,
I'm
my man?
gonna tell you something. When I was a youngster,
Not my bad. You faded, girl.
The Parkwood area, Porto, Enchanted Hills, all that area out there past Porto. All them areas in on that north side of Nashville, man, because a lot of professionals used to live in those areas, and they were college grads and stuff like that, and a lot of fine, bad, pretty gals used to, live in those areas, grew up in those areas, man. So we were real gutter, from where I'm from, South Nashville,
Where you
East
from?
Nashville,
South
South
Nashville.
Nashville.
What part?
Yeah.
What part of South Nashville, bro?
Pittsburgh T in the building.
Yeah, UCJC.
What's up, fellas?
Going on.
That where I'm from and what in the east side of Nashville,
Yeah.
we were thuggish like a summer gun. It was gutter, and I mean, but we all travel. Now some parts of the east is cool, but I'm talking about the projects primarily. So when you going,
Yeah.
travel other sides of
Southern Coalition, South A, all that.
Yeah. We travel different sections of town, where the females were. You know what I'm saying? And then now on the south side, there was a little spot called.
You didn't have no bitches in your hood?
Yeah, we had some, but we didn't
Oh,
want
but you
them.
ran through them already.
We ran through them. But
Yeah.
we wanted the bougie chicks. We wanted the
I know
bougie
that
chicks,
problem.
So and they wanted, and the bougie chicks wanted some thugs.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and I tell you this, Mix, it was really the opposite, man. So the neighborhood I come from, it wasn't no projects like that. But get what?
Yeah.
We wanted to go fuck with them girls.
Right.
Them girls was fascinating.
They wanted the hood chick. Look, them homies wanted the hood chick, and us hood dudes wanted the bougie chicks. It was just it's what you wasn't getting at home is what you wanted.
Yeah.
From elsewhere, you know what I'm saying? That's what it was all about.
That's a fact. That's a fact. He ain't lying about that.
Yeah.
Well, I used to take my chances pulling up at in UC and JC just to fuck with them. They had the fat asses and they was talking that shit. Them girls was talking that shit. We want to pull up on them. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, Nashville as a whole got a lot of pretty women there, though, man. I was born and raised there, man. So I'm not saying it because I was born and raised. I'm just keeping it real because I've been in a few cities here and there, and certain cities you can see what they're working with. You know what I'm saying? When you go, when you talk about Atlanta, man, you're talking about peaches. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how gay it is, you still got a lot of beautiful women there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, how gay it is.
Yeah, it's gay. Well, everywhere is gay now. You know what I'm saying? They don't got full blown in Nashville now. But L.A., they're known for some beautiful women. Florida, known for beautiful women. You can go, just about anywhere. But I'm just some places are more plentiful than others. Houston, man. When I first went to Houston, man, I've only been to Houston once. Come to think of it. Well, I put my foot on the ground anyway one time, and I got some bad female. Oh man, I love women. Period. Let me tell you something. I went to LA by myself in 2019, and I went for a funeral. Now I was staying in Torrance, California, right by the mall. My folks were in LA, and they were like, "You want us to come pick you up?" Well, I'm not blood with the family, but I'm just close to the family like that. But I figure they got family stuff they want to take care of. I was like, no, I'm good. Y'all gonna handle your business. I'll hit you up. I get a ride to come in there when it's time, and then I hang with y'all at that point. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm right there by the mall, so I know what's up. So I go over there at the mall, man. Man, I stay at the mall all day for 2 days. All day. Take naps in the mall, everything. I'm just looking at women. Amazed. Happy. I'm married. I ain't getting out, so I ain't used to being around them no more. So I'm just enjoying myself. You know what I'm saying? But next time I go out there, it's gonna be on and popping because I'm solo dolo now, nigga.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, homie. That's good shit. Good shit.
Yes,
who we got? Domo, where you from, sir?
I'm from the Bay.
From the Bay.
That's my favorite cousin. Don't you mess with my favorite cousin.
No, money. I ain't. Come on.
I'm just talking shit, man.
Nah, I ain't being reckless, homie. I ain't being reckless. I just want to know what most people on this panel from. Where y'all from? The Bay? Most people on this panel from the Bay, right?
Yep. Since motherfuckers ain't answering, we got Coop. He from the guy from us. From
Coop. Yeah, I fuck with Coop. I already been on Coop. Fucking panel. I've been on. Yeah,
we got the Mexican American. We got him. He from
all American,
middle of
California.
All American. You know what I'm saying? We got the white girl whisperer. What does that say? Yeah. I can't even see. Yeah, he from Oklahoma. I don't know where he at. He's sleeping today. Pittsburgh T. Where you from, bro? You from Pittsburgh or you just say that?
You from the foot, man?
Nah,
Yeah, that's where I'm originally from. Right now I'm in Florida, but that's where I lived a lot of my life down. Yeah.
Oh, what
like
part of
this.
Florida?
Who from Florida?
No,
Yeah,
so
I'm
what
down
part
here
of
now.
Florida?
Oh, South Florida. South Florida. South of Miami.
Oh, okay.
Man, when I went to Miami, it's just certain places got an
It's
energy
lit.
to them.
Hey,
I'm
buddy.
telling you, LA and Miami, they got an energy to them. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you get in Miami, you feel like you in Miami. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm gonna tell you this. Like coming from Tennessee, when I went to Miami, the first thing I noticed was even Florida. Period. Palm trees.
Yeah, that's
palm trees. The first thing that's the first thing that blew my mind. And like coconut, you know what I mean? Coconut trees and orange trees, like all of that shit blew my mind, bro.
See, that's what it was for me. Like when I used to come to California, it used to just be like something. I used to tell people like, man, just going out there seeing the palm trees, it feel like I'm in a different country. I felt like I was going somewhere coming to California.
Yeah,
you
the
know
coast,
what I'm saying?
those tropical coast areas are like that, man. You know, that's one of the, you can tell you're in a different cultural area when you hit those places. Now, when you look at the earth, it's sand. You know what I'm saying? It's not soil like what we're used to in the more inland areas. But you got a lot of sand in those coastal areas, man, which is cool.
How
but it's different. Like North Florida is different than South Florida. Like if you go north and Central Florida, it's almost like California. It's a completely different place. It ain't the same shit. Yeah. It's like California drive a couple hours. It's all different. Like the people who run shit, they don't look the same. You know, the environment don't look the same. People act differently. Like South Florida is known for the Latinos. That shit don't roll out in Central Florida and Northern Florida. They don't do that shit up there.
What is that? Is that like Fort Lauderdale?
It's a little darker in northern Florida.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't peep that. I didn't peep that at first. I think South Florida,
a little darker and a little lighter.
Yeah, South Florida is where I really had a ball at. Lauderdale.
And South Florida, they pretty tan down there. You got white folks, black folks, North Florida, but you got
Lauderdale and Miami. That shit was something different, bro. Opelika, we went to Opelika, fucking Carol City, all of that, man. That shit blew my mind, man. That shit changed me, man.
Man, I'm gonna be in. I'm going to Florida. I'm taking my grandkids to Florida the end of June. I want to go to Miami, but I can't take the kids down there, so we're gonna go to Fort Lauderdale, and
take the kids to Orlando. Yeah, take the kids to Orlando.
I'm already gonna be there. We're gonna do Disney and all that, but I'm going to the beach before we leave, and I'm gonna drive to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, so if you're gonna go to a beach with your family, you don't want to go to Miami. You want to go to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah,
that's more like. Yeah, that's not where you want to be at. You want to be to Fort Lauderdale.
Back for me.
I agree.
Last time I was in Miami, I was in there for just 6 hours, and I was married.
I agree.
I didn't even look like I was supposed to be on the beach. But the next time, I'm gonna be posted up in the sand. I'm being dressed for the beach.
Nah, but it's not the same no more. Since I don't know how long it's been since you've been to Miami, but 17. I don't know if any like that shit ain't the same no more since that shit run down, man. That's not where you want to be at, bro. Like it's a whole bunch of other beaches to go besides Miami. That shit ran down. Like since COVID hit, what they did is the drive that there's a road that's the main road that's close to where the water is. That road they shut it down so it's only foot traffic. And then what they did too is like now like all you see there is a bunch of out of towners and people selling weed and just pestering you all day. It ain't no shit you want to be bothered with. It ain't nothing on the beach. There's cops running up and down on ATV. Nah, it's not the same, Santos. Trust me.
As long as they dress half naked, I'm good. That's all.
Nah, but you're only gonna get that on the Black Beach Week. That's the only day you're gonna get all that traffic you're talking about.
Yeah. So let me ask you this though, Pittsburgh, because we went to fucking Miami on Memorial Day weekend. You saying
that's a big weekend. That's a big weekend. See, them big weekends, you're gonna get all that traffic. When it's not that big weekend, then you don't want to go. It's not like you're gonna pay a bunch of money and nobody's gonna be there, and you're gonna have to walk a hellified amount of way because like people from there, they don't really go there. They go to Howlover Beach, they go to Fort Lauderdale Beach, they go to
no, it's tourists, man. Yeah, I ain't looking
but there ain't
I ain't looking for the local.
No, but even the tourists don't go there. The only time it's a lot of people there is during those days like Black Beach Week, Memorial Week, like those weeks. Those are the only weeks that people like fester up in there for the population that you're looking for. I'm telling you, if it's not one of the weeks, you're kind of like wasting your time with that. You're not gonna get what you think you're gonna get if it's not one of them big ass weeks.
Do you know any like yacht people? I want to go out there for my birthday and rent a yacht.
Yeah, I mean that's
not yacht people though. Do you know any yacht people?
That's what you
that's a
do in
little
Miami.
different right there.
You might be able to
That's
Google that
different,
and see who's renting yachts.
Hey, you know how to swim, Damo?
Yeah.
Oh, you good then.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on where you're trying to catch the yacht, but I mean Google it because they got them all over. Depending on where you're trying to catch it from. Yeah,
just be careful.
Depending on where you're trying to catch them from.
You know what happened? You know what happened last time y'all went on boat?
What
happened? You know what? Hey, St. Pete might be a little bit closer than Fort Lauderdale to Orlando, right?
St. Pete north. Fort Lauderdale south. So Fort Lauderdale is down by Miami.
I'm saying if you drive.
St. Pete is.
What I'm saying.
Yeah, St. Pete is way north. St. Pete way north. So St. Pete like 3-4 hours away.
3 or 4. Okay, I know it's like close to an hour from Tampa.
Yeah, it's way up there. It's at the top. But Fort Lauderdale way at the bottom. So like the whole state of Florida, it might take you 6 to 8 hours to drive it, depending on how fast you drive, obviously. Like St. Pete way up in northern Florida. Fort Lauderdale way it's right on top of Miami.
See, I didn't realize we had traveled north when I was in Tampa last summer to go to St. Pete, but it's cool. It was a nice little area, family oriented and everything. It was cool. That's why I was just wondering if it was closer to Orlando than Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, it's
I think it took us about.
Especially where you coming from.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, where you coming from?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's way closer.
I know it took about. I know it took over 3 hours. Right at about 3 hours and a half to get to Miami when I was down there in Orlando in 2017. So that's why I was asking.
From Orlando to Orlando, Central Florida, and then Miami. Obviously, that's the tip. So you can drive up and down from the central to the bottom anywhere from 3 to 4 hours, depending on traffic. You know what I mean? And then the other way, because that's only halfway of Florida. You drive the whole state of Florida, it can take you up to 8 hours to get up and down that shit, depending on traffic.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Well, that was a sneeze.
Man, so have y'all already talked about the fight?
That shit sounded like a silencer toy gun.
Oh, that was me yarning on the pimp side. Yeah, you can't just do it ordinary. You know, you gotta do a little pimp flavor to it. You know what I'm saying? Gotta keep a little. Hey man, hey y'all, what do y'all think about the? Hey, what's up with Ryan Garcia and his team, man? Are they still united or? I don't believe the headlines I'm reading. But
he need to drop him. Yeah, he need to drop him. You didn't see what they did?
I'm wondering why they didn't.
To the press conference after.
Yeah, I know. I'm wondering why they went out there. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Hold on, what happened?
They gave a bunch of excuses. Ryan Garcia team after Bernard Hopkins, Oscar De La Hoya, they didn't even go to the press conference after. Oscar De La Hoya came and said that he was threatened for his life. His team told him just to leave because he was in fear of his life and all this bullshit. And then he tried to say that Bernard Hopkins was barred, which wasn't true because he was in the fucking arena. So like they just left him up there. That's why if you watch the presser after, Tank is standing there at the podium, and then Ryan Garcia go up there by himself, and then they're talking, they embrace, they exchange phone numbers, but those two dudes is nowhere to be found. They ain't nowhere to be found. They gave all this
weird. How in the world
ass.
You gonna be fearing for your life, and you're part of the promotion, and you didn't win the fight, and there wasn't no robbery or nothing. I mean,
no.
there's no reason to be fearing for your life.
Man, nobody believe that.
That's crazy.
I ain't never heard no
bull crap like that in boxing.
But why they ain't take the fighter? Why they ain't take the guy that's making them all the money? If you scared so bad, why you take the guy that's making you all the money? That's who I would have grabbed. I wouldn't be taking Bernard Hopkins. If I'm Oscar, I'm taking the dude that's making me money. Fuck, I need Bernard for. So I mean, he need to leave that stupid ass. It seemed like he lost and they just dipped on him. That's what it looked like.
They were worried about their lives. They should have had security.
Yeah, but he said he had his security team. That's the lie he said. He said he got a team now. He got a security team. What kind of security team you hired that's telling you to leave? Like, what the hell? Like, what's going on with that?
He must have a secret service or something there. It must be some punks.
Man, he had Bert and Ernie security team. That's the security team he had.
Bert and Ernie.
And they said that they accused Bernard Hopkins of touching Javante with testosterone cream or some shit.
No, that's some shit that Oscar. Nobody said that, but Oscar made that shit up. Like he made that bullshit up. Yeah, he talking about something that somebody like nobody from the other. I haven't heard anybody verbally say that. That might have been some bullshit that he read, but I haven't heard nobody verbally say that from the other side. Like he just saying all kind of shit. He just looked real bad because that's his biggest fighter. That's your money man, and you wasn't there in his biggest fight for whatever stupid ass reason.
I wouldn't have been upset because we knew somebody had to win, somebody had to lose, and these are two guys that respect each other, and they were willing to get in that ring, get along, and then all the pile of money they were earning. Shoot, I would have been standing right beside my home. I'm like, hey, he might have lost, but it's been a good day. You know what I'm saying? And they did. It ain't like Ryan looked bad. It ain't like he looked bad in the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, he was throwing punches.
Yeah, he was fighting.
He was throwing punches. He just wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. The nigga wasn't ready, man.
We knew he wasn't on that level. He wasn't on that level, you know. But he wasn't afraid. He wasn't no punk about it though. I'm gonna tell you, I got all due respect for Ryan Garcia. He pushed the fight for it to happen. He didn't punk out. He stood up like a man, and he went in there, got his bread. And hey, I'm proud of him, man. And I like the fact them two are respecting one another after the fights. You know what I'm saying? Family and all. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good, man.
Yeah. Hey, and then like you remember Don King used to notoriously like get climbing the ring, and whoever won, he slide over to the dude who won while he got his hands red. He slide right next to him. Yeah, that's what Don King used to do. He right there in the middle of it. And then on top of that, remember Tank done fought 3 times this year. He done fought 3 times in a 1 year span. Tank done fought. So for all this crap that people talking, that boy be fighting. Yeah, he done fought. Yeah, he fought 2. He done fought 3 times. A lot of these dudes not fighting like that.
He gonna fight another time this year, at least.
Yeah, he gonna fight. He fought January.
He started the year off.
Then he already fought this. He gonna fight. He gonna fight again.
No doubt.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, hey, with Don King's situation, a lot of people just talk about that, but I found out later on once I understood what was happening. Shoot, the reason he was doing that because he was promoting both fighters anyway. Most of the time. The whole time
he wasn't scared, Santos. He wasn't scared. He was ripping everybody out. Like the fight, he had fighters trying to beat him up. He had every other promoters trying to beat him up. It wasn't no punky Don King at all.
Now he never been no punk. He from the streets, you know. But hey, look, this man here understood he was making money, and he wanted everybody to know he was making money, and he was running the show. And so he did what he. I take my head off to Don King. I know he did some shady stuff, but hey, when he was in boxing was at his some of his best, man. We got good fights, man.
Yeah, but De La Hoya and them, man, they shady, man. They look real bad with that stuff they was doing, man. Even Bernard Hopkins, when he sent up there fighting with Devin Haney's daddy about he gonna do this and do that, and you tuck tail and run about some words that somebody possibly would have said to you. Like, wait a minute, well, how that's making sense?
Let me tell you something, man. Anytime you don't believe in your fighter, you're going to come up with all kind of excuses before the fight and after the fight to make yourself try to look decent or to prop your fight up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They were selling that fight. And that's what they did. They sold it.
Yeah,
they came up with all kind of excuses to try to divide the crowd with sales tickets. And they did what they do. They professionals at promoting those fights, man, and getting that money built up. That's what they did.
But look at Don King. He ain't never lose. Like, he made money, man. You lost one, lost whatever. Like, there really wasn't no loser in that fight as far as financially.
Wasn't no loser.
Promotional company. Yeah, the promotional company should be the last person acting like that, because they got paid a boatload. They never, like, Oscar and them weren't making that kind of money off of no fighter they got, that many pay-per-view, none of that shit that's happening. So they should have been there standing strong, whatever the fuck was happening. Like, that don't even make any sense.
Yeah, they should have supported the kid, man. The kid just made them a boatload of money. They should have supported him, man. Period. He made them a part of one of the biggest fights in the past 3 years.
Hey,
maybe the last 5 years.
He was deflated in them post-fight interviews, bro. He was deflated, man. That kid was deflated, bro. He ain't like that. He was deflated. He couldn't answer the questions. He lost. He was deflated, man. I don't know. That was weird. It was weird for me to see Garcia looking like that after the fight. He was deflated, man. And like y'all saying, though, he didn't even have his people backing him up. He in these post-fight interviews, he ain't had nobody backing him up, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a good look.
It
wasn't a good look for his team. It was good. He showed up to be the man that he is, but his team it wasn't a good look for them.
He needed some backup. He needed some back, like y'all talking about Don King, man. When they asking him, hey, what happened in the fight and who's next? Don King would have stepped up and said, hey, okay, I got this, Ryan. And Don King would have started speaking, answering those questions. You see what I'm saying? He ain't had nobody step up for him and answer those questions from him, man. When you notice your fighter is defeated and he's answering the questions as if he's defeated, you need a veteran or somebody who's backing him to step up and say, man, no more questions. Let me answer these questions.
Now,
That's the type of shit Don King used to do.
I feel what you're saying. I respect it, but I disagree with it. I think people want to hear from the fighter. I'd rather hear the fighter speak on what happened in that ring than somebody on the side who ain't not one punch, because sometimes we like when Floyd was speaking for Tank, none of us like that, man. Because Tank wanted to talk, but Floyd wouldn't let him half the time.
But I'm gonna say this though.
All that propaganda, man.
But let me say this though, brother. Well, brother, you can listen to Garcia's answers. He didn't want to talk. That's the difference. See what I'm saying? Nobody was interrupting him. Somebody should have interrupted. He didn't want to talk. They asking him what happened in the fight, and he just kept saying, "Man, I got stopped." And they like, "Well, what happened technically? Could you have blocked it?" He's like, "Well, no, I just got stopped." He didn't really want to talk. He gave me the vibe he didn't really want to be there, brother. That's all I'm saying.
No, he did. Yeah, he did.
He did. So what I'm saying, hold on. I know, but let me say this though, brother. Listen, as a veteran promoter, or if I got my fighters back, and I know my fighter don't want to be here, I'm gonna let my fighter say just enough, and then I'm going to step in and let them know. Listen, man, my fighter, he don't want to speak to y'all.
Nah.
He's only there speaking to y'all because he gotta be.
He gotta be. Like, look, I'll give you an example of that. Like, to me, look, even the NBA, when they lose those playoff games and they go 7 games, as soon as the game over, before they shower good, they up at the podium, whoever the main dude is. And all the dudes that make excuses, who look crazy, they get towed up in the media, but that's part of the gig. That's what you signed up for. Like, there ain't no protection for that. That's part of what you signed up for. You just got to take your lumps on the head. That's why you get the money. So you can't really, there's nobody that's going to really help him out of that situation. That's what I'm saying. That's what he signed up for. And that's why he get paid that boatload of money.
So if you're going to use the NBA example, right? Now, when these players up there and they don't really know what to say and they saying a bunch of bullshit, the coaches say, hey, man, listen, man, that shit is on me. It's on me.
No, they don't, bro.
A coach will step in and say, bro, this
no,
is
they don't.
The game.
No, they don't. No, they don't. The players talk. The players talk. And sometimes you see like veteran players go up there like at a duo. Like remember when LeBron first came, then Wade would sit up there with him at the podium and try to take most of the questions. But LeBron looked crazy when that was going on. So there's no really way for you to hide from those questions when it's part of your obligation. Because that's what you signed up for. That's part of why they get paid what they get paid for people to have that kind of access. They want raw emotion.
Unless you say, I'm only here so I don't get fined.
I don't get fined. Now, I hear you, homie. I hear you, homie. I'm just saying, for my observation is when I saw Garcia speaking after the fight, he was disappointed.
He lost respect.
He was deflated. He was discombobulated.
Yeah, he should have been.
Yeah, he needed that support. He definitely needed that support.
But let me say this though. I just think back in the day when I watched Don King, when his fighter seems discombobulated after in a post-fight press conference, Don King step in and say, "Yo, listen, it's only made in America, baby. We looking for the next fighter. We looking for the next fight." Like I just feel like somebody should have had his back, man. The boy looks sad.
No, but nobody.
You're right.
You can't deflect it though. Think of it like this: back when Don King was doing it, you had all these major news networks. Now you got Dante's Boxing. You got all these internet people that got it's way more media now. You got international, plus you got YouTube. It's a 24-hour news cycle. So back then, they could control printed. They could control what little snippets. A lot of stuff was controlled. You can't really hide from that stuff now. That's why these dudes are getting paid the amount of money that they're getting paid and the endorsement deals that they're getting, because you just can't. People want access. It's way more media that keeps that stuff going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because it ain't that many fights. But we talk about it all the time with the advent of YouTube, because they don't even talk about it on SportsCenter. They don't put it in a newspaper. All of that shit happens. It has to be. It's part of what you got to participate in to keep it going.
You gotta remember this too. Back during those days in the sport of boxing, if a fighter wasn't articulate, he didn't get a chance to speak much anyway. That's when the promoters would speak in their behalf most of the time, and that's how it was. I mean, fighters were not known for speaking a lot, except for a select few. Sugar Ray spoke in his own behalf. Ali spoke, of course. Ali changed the game. Before Ali, you didn't hear fighters talking a whole lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he changed the game up. So it just changed everything. He was the one of the select few that spoke in his own behalf. You didn't have, because no promoter could sell a fight better than he could himself. Now, when it came down to fighters that were not, who was more like we always criticize Terrence Crawford. Okay? When you have fighters like that didn't want to talk a lot, it doesn't mean that they weren't articulate, just didn't want to talk a lot. They were kind of bashful talking to the crowd. And because of whatever they, comfort zones were, and then promoters or other people in their corner, trainers or whatever, they would have. So
but they can't.
Right. He needed.
They can't do that no more.
To be there.
But wait, y'all. But y'all remember all these old fighters y'all talking about. Remember when they did post-conference pressers? It's not like it is now. They upload that shit on YouTube and you can watch the entire thing.
No, we're not just
back in those days. Back in those days, remember, it's easier to get away and you can kind of hide and mimic that because it's only going to be like a 2-minute clip that's going to run on SportsCenter. So what I'm saying is there's really nowhere for these guys to hide from it. I get it's uncomfortable, but it's just a moment. It's not that serious.
But what I'm saying, Pittsburgh, is listen. Garcia could have answered. Listen, Garcia had to answer 6 questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
He could have answered 2 questions, and then the representative step in and then he answer the rest of the. I'm telling you, Pittsburgh, I promise it.
But you don't think that would have made that would have made him? It makes him look stronger to stand there. He stood tall and answered those questions. That makes him. No, he didn't. No, so if somebody took the microphone from him and he stood there and answered, you think that makes him look stronger? Remember how we talking about Tank when Mayweather talking? When Mayweather talking for Tank, that don't make him look good.
What I'm saying, Pittsburgh, is listen, homie, it saved him from himself. He looked docile, defeated in the whole night. He could answer 2 questions. Listen, brother, he wasn't even answering the questions. They saying, hey, what happened to you? He said, man, I walked into
he just lost the biggest fight of his life.
Listen to me, brother. They said what happened in the fight. He said I got impatient and I walked into the punch. And then they said, okay, now you got punched, and then you was about to get up And why didn't you was about to get up and then you went back and took a knee? Why did you do that? He said, well, I thought about getting up and then I couldn't continue. That's that on that. He shouldn't answer any question after them too, Pittsburgh. He could have been done
Why
right
not,
there,
bro?
brother.
Listen, bro. Like nothing he did. Listen, everything that young man did made him look strong. Even in his weakness, he looked strong because he stood by himself. Like, it's something to be said about a person that can stand by themselves and don't need nobody to stand there next to you. Like, we criticized Tank for years when we had Ellerby and we had Floyd standing there, and people say, oh, they won't let him talk. They won't, like, nobody looks at that like a sign of weakness. Yeah, we get that you're trying to protect the person. No matter what it is, it doesn't look good. You look stronger by going through shit yourself. And all men can recognize that, like, hey, that wasn't your best fucking moment, but you stood through that shit. LeBron didn't look good that year. He lost that championship, and he came out with that fucking elbow brace, talking about he fucked up his elbow and all them excuses and all that foolishness and running from the cameras. That shit don't make you look good.
The Pittsburgh, let me tell you this, though, homie. Let me tell you what made him look weak, right? Now they asked him, hey, now, bam, you got your ass knocked out. What's next? Well, I'm gonna go and fight the top guy in 140 because I always should have been 140. So now you're giving yourself excuse. To me, that makes you look weak. Now you fought this man at 136. You complained a little bit, but you got in the ring and fought. And now after the fight, after you got your ass stopped, now you want to say, well, now I'm going to go back to my real weight of 140 and get my, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that makes you look weak, Pittsburgh. Like, somebody should have stopped him and said, don't say that. Don't tell. When they say what's next, just say, hey, me and my team going back to the drawing board. We're going to figure out what's next. Don't say, hey, what's next for me is I'm going to go back to my real weight of 140. I want to fight the top man at 140 because 136 is not my real weight. And now you start to look weak, Pittsburgh. You can't say he didn't look weak in the interviews when he started shooting for 140. Like, you don't fight him at 136 if you're just going to complain about 136, Pittsburgh.
Well, what I'm gonna tell you is this, right? This what I'll say to that, and I say this for any fighter. Like, we want access as fans, right? So we can't be overly critical of athletes in their worst moments, because on our worst moments, we liable to say all kind of shit. So I don't want to be overly critical of any athlete, especially when they go to the Super Bowl or whatever their top pinnacle is, and they lose that event. Like, the words that come out of their mouth is going to be a lot of emotion. It's going to be a lot of vitriol behind it. So I don't want to be overly critical, especially with somebody who didn't have to take the fight. Like, they weren't fighting for no fucking belt or no shit like that. You didn't have to take that fight. So I don't want to get too critical of them, because now what you end up doing is you make other fighters not have an incentive to actually take the fight. Because if we're going to criticize the shit out of somebody for taking a fight and losing, it's going to be hard for us we're going to end up with a bunch of Keith Thurmans that run around and be protecting their hold, and they don't want to lose because they don't want to be criticized.
No, I respect that, homie. Only thing I'm just saying is I think he should have had somebody right there on his side to step in. I know I understand what you're saying, Pittsburgh. I understand that we are critical of people when they don't speak for themselves. I just felt like Garcia, instead of standing there and answering them 6 or 7 questions, he should have maybe answered 2 or 3, and then someone steps in, like Don King would have stepped in and said, okay, guys, I'll answer. He answered 2 or 3 questions. I'll answer these next 3 questions. I just think he should have had somebody to step in and say that. That's just me, though. That's just the way I look at it.
I respect that. I get it. I get what you're saying. I respect it. I get what you're saying.
He looked lonely. He looked lonely up there, homie. You could tell nobody had his back up there. That's just from my outlook. From the outside looking in, it looked like no one had his back up there. He didn't have a big brother that could come put his arm around his shoulder and say, bro, I got the rest of this press conference after you answer 2 or 3 questions, right?
But it's not.
I would say this.
Go ahead,
too.
Santos.
I would say this too. Both of y'all make valid points, and you both are right in what you're saying. He needed the support, but he also added value to him, kept the value, and kept his stock up by speaking himself. And what I was gonna say, the authentic Ryan Garcia that we know, he wants to speak for himself anyway.
I agree.
He may not have been in his he may not been his best mindset at that moment because he just suffered defeat. But at the same time, Ryan, he needed that. His support should have been there, not just his family, but his team. They should have been there. Shame on them. But at the same time, Ryan would have wanted to speak, knowing the Ryan I know, he would have wanted to speak, no matter if it was good or not. Now, somebody could have been there and said, while he was trying to speak, could have been like, well, add some stuff to what he was trying to say or try to clean up what he said.
Yeah.
That's cool. But as long as he was getting a chance to speak himself, he would have felt he continuously was able to feel authentic to his fans, even if it didn't sound the best coming out of his mouth. Now I'll say this though, him speaking on that 140 thing, he was speaking his truth, and that's who Ryan is when he's not selling the fight. He speaks his truth, and that's what I respect about that kid.
Well, don't fight. We gotta admit, no, don't fight. Like, don't fight if you.
Wait, hold on. Let me bring up. Let me bring the contrast to it. Now, remember, Ja Morant and them, they lost them 2 games, and they ain't go to the podium at all after the game. They got their cars and hauled ass. They said, fuck the press conference because we lost. So the fact that he stood up there by himself and said what he said, I mean, more props to him, man. He lost the fucking fight. He took his L, and that's that. Like, I mean, because a lot of these dudes, like, Tank has fought 3 times in a year. Ryan, we could say that his fights, he took no bunch of fights. He's not like taking a fight twice a year either. But he did take this particular fight. Like, people ain't trying to fight Tank for a reason. There's a reason behind that shit. So he lost and he took his L. And remember, after the fight, in the locker room, there's cameras. If he go in the shower, it's cameras. If he go to his car, it's cameras. If he go out to that presser, he's not getting out of that stadium without answering those questions. Now, could somebody have been there? Yeah, but he's going to have to answer those questions. So that would have had to be prepped before that. Before that moment, they would have had to prep him before that. He would already had to have PR moment because there was nowhere for him to run in that situation.
I'm just saying, brother, he could have answered a couple of those questions, and the rest of those questions, he should have a team. That's just me personally. He looked deflated, bro. That man was deflated, Pittsburgh. I'm talking about deflated. Like, he didn't want to be there. Of course, he don't want to be there. Nobody wants to be there. I understand that.
The bottom line is he never should have been left alone.
Nobody
we need to look at that team. Yeah, he should have left that team.
Yeah, nobody wants to be there, but you should have a team that can see that, right? Once, listen, if I'm part of your team and I know you're deflated, you're defeated, you just lost a big fight, you answer one question, then a follow-up question, and then a third question, and then I see that you're not really answering these questions like you want to be here, then me as a part of your team, I'm stepping up and say, listen, man, my fight is deflated. And we're going to go home. We're going to regroup. Let me answer. If you got any more questions, I'll answer them. Like, that's enough. You ask them, what happened in the fight? How did it go wrong? And who's next? That's all we wanted to know from Garcia. That's all we wanted to know, brother. That's all we wanted to know. But that would have made it. So you don't think that would have made him look weaker by somebody stepping in and say that's all the questions? I don't. My fighter looked weaker. I mean, he's deflated. We finna leave. Okay, that's fine. I don't, brother.
I mean, the bigger part is he need to lead that team. He need to reconsider working with Oscar, and if that's how they're going to do him on that particular stage. In the biggest stage, that's what they decided to do. That's some bullshit. Because they ain't never made that kind of money off of Ryan, and they just walk off on him and come up with these lame ass excuses. That's some straight bullshit.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
He need to roll out with them.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I agree with that, bro. For real. But listen, I'm just saying, me as a fan, I just wanted to know those 3 things, right? And when you got knocked down in round 2, what happened, right? When you got stopped and you was about to get up and you fell back down, what happened then? And then what are you going? Who do you have next? That's all we really needed to know from Garcia. But then they asked him 4 or 5 more questions, and he's standing up and he's not really answering the questions. He's just there. He's looking like he don't want to be there. His whole demeanor is, I don't want to be here. So let's go ahead and get those 3 or 4 questions out the way, and then the team steps in. You know what I'm saying? Because now once you start asking those other questions, he's like, well, I didn't really want to fight at 136. So now it seems like you're making an excuse and you signed the contract. See, you signed the contract. So now once we get to question number four is, hey man, why did you sign the contract? So now you have to answer these weird ass questions. That's all I'm saying. I think he should have had a team to jump in there. So now he don't have to say that, well, I'm finna go fight the next big man at 140. I didn't really want to fight at 136 and blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? It just sounded kind of weird. And then some of the questions he wasn't even answering. They're like, hey, what happened when he hit you when he hit you with the body shot? You're like, well, I just walked into a body shot. Well, is Tank the strongest puncher you ever, is that the strongest puncher you ever fought against? I think that question, he shouldn't have never even been on the stage for that question. Is Tank the strongest puncher you ever fought against? He shouldn't have never been. That was question number 4 or 5, bro. He should have never been at the press conference answering that question. It should have been one of his teammates by the time we get to those type of questions.
Well, they were going the type of fight that was both knockout artists. They were going to ask both of those fighters that question if they were if their opponent was the hardest punch they ever faced.
But you gotta think, homie, that question was like that was question 4, question 5. He should have never got to that question. Like it's over. It's over.
Nah, but you gotta think all the press that's there though. But you gotta think all the press that's there. Like, look, that's not only the United States, you got international reporters there, you got YouTubers there, you got your major medias there. So you got all those questions. You might have had like a couple people get a question or 1 or 2 questions in. It's not like, one person just peppering them with questions. But at the same time, that to me, that go back more to his team and them prepping him in PR. You remember when Gianna's Ana Kupo, I can't even say the brother name, when Malika Andrews, she asked him that crazy ass questions after the finals and he just like walked off. He wasn't even with that stupid shit. Like that's more of a seasoned person that's used to being in front of the camera, that has some kind of PR training that knows not to answer certain questions and to just walk off. Like that takes some time. Like Ryan hasn't fought that much. Obviously his team, they just fucking straight up abandoned him. So there's no way that they prepared him for the PR role. They couldn't have. There's no way. So I mean, to me, it's just more a reflection of him needing to get rid of that fucking team and going somewhere else. The litter of whatever the other promotional companies is, because that ain't it. Because he promoted that fight himself. Him and Tank promoted that fight.
Nah, he did.
They don't need a promotional test.
Nah, he did it though, Pittsburgh. I just hated to see him up there deflated and defeated like that, man. Because that ain't the Ryan Garcia that I know.
No, that was wrong.
Ryan Garcia, I know.
That was wrong.
You know what I mean? He's pompous. He's arrogant. He talking his shit. I just hated to see him up there like that. And I don't know. It's like he didn't have anybody on his side. Like we talk about Don King. Don King would have been right in that camera with him. Right there, guiding him, talking to him, talking to
Not
the
really.
crowd.
But not really, though, because if Don King would have been promoting the other fighter, he would have slid on the other side.
Yeah,
I mean, Don slide both ways, though.
Well, let me say this, though, Pittsburgh. We've seen Bernard Hopkins and De La Hoya every step of the way into the post-fight press conference, right or wrong, and the trainer. We seen the trainer. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. We seen them all the way, every step of the way until when they fight or lost, they went ghost on them. We didn't see them at all. And it seems like, in my mind, it seems like he was not looking for help, but he was hoping somebody would step up and say something and help. Because he got a barrage of questions. He sit there and had to answer 8, 9, 10 questions. And in my mind, he should have only answered 3 or 4, and then his team should have stepped in, because if you got all these people in your corner, why are they not speaking now when I lost? So like y'all saying, like we all saying, he should fire his fucking team. He should fire his team. His team should be fired today.
Yeah, that's not much of a team, bro. Like that ain't. I don't see what. Like if they gonna dip out when shit get tough and still pick up that, they still picking up that check though. They ain't not cashing that check. They picking up that check, but they hauled ass on them.
Mm-hmm. And that's why it's a controversy now, right? The controversy now is, goddamn, Bernard, Goddamn, Oscar, why we ain't see y'all at the post-fight press conference? And I think people asking that question because they saw what I saw. Your fighter was fucking discombobulated and defeated, and y'all wasn't there to help him. Y'all wasn't there to help that man at all, man. But shout out to Garcia though, man. He stood there, took it like a champ, bro. I respect that. I ain't gonna lie, Pittsburgh. I do respect that.
Yeah, and then like if you look at the other 2 or 3 major promoters we have, Bob Arum would have never had his fighters up there like that. Al Heyman would have never had his fighters up there. Even Eddie Hearn wouldn't have had his fighters sitting up there like that by themselves. So I don't understand what the fuck they was doing when they did what they did, because that ain't make a bunch of sense to nobody. And the shit they saying now is just childish and stupid. The stuff they saying, like, man, y'all drunk or high with the shit y'all saying, because y'all got to be high, drunk, some shit, something, because this ain't making no sense.
Hey, Pittsburgh, they said testosterone cream.
Man, they on something, man.
Hey,
they on something.
Hey, that's wild, man. That's wild. That's a wild boy, man.
Yeah, they just making up shit. Because and then on top of that, that's their best fighter. That's their money. Like, why? It just don't make no sense.
Yeah,
you know what's crazy most of all? The fighter is not making any complaints. He's not making any excuses. It's the promoters who didn't show up, the team that didn't show up. That's a sidebar making these comments. This kid is taking it on the chin like a man, and he ain't even tripping about it like that. He's not making any excuses, man. That's one. He said that multiple times out of his mouth. Hey, man, I have no excuses. You know,
he did say that.
It happened this way, happened that way. I got caught. I made a mistake, and he got the win. He stopped me. Yeah, I can't make any excuses, you know. So I pray. Ryan, I always liked him, but I like him even more now.
You always liked him?
Yeah, I always liked him. I thought he was an exciting kid. And he probably, I knew he was going to sell some tickets and whatnot. He's going to give you a show sometime with a knockout. I didn't think he could beat Javante, though, but I thought it was a good fight. It was a good mix. And it was great for the sport of boxing. It was very entertaining before the fight. And during the fight, we got some excitement out of it because we all had nervous energy, wondering who was going to get caught.
That's a fact.
So what they gave us was the excitement that we all looking for in the sport of boxing, and that's what we got. They got paid, and on to the next. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully some of these other guys follow up and do something like that on that level. Get them some checks as well.
I like it.
But
I respect it.
when a man stand up and accept, the situation for what it is, it is what it is. He don't feel like he was slighted or robbed in any kind of way, and I take my hat off to him. He didn't look bad. They can say whatever they want to, but the man came to fight, and he tried. And even after that knockdown, he still tried to fight. So I'm good with what they did, and I'm glad they able to respect one another. They were friends before. They cool now,
Yeah, so, I like that too. I do like that.
I saw Terrence. I saw Javante hugging the mother and showing great respect to the father as well, man. So and the team and the family. They all have respect because one thing that those two fighters and their families understand is that we got paid.
Yeah, facts.
We just did some good business.
That was a big one.
They understand that.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was one of the biggest fights. You know what I mean? And recent.
And you don't hear like when they make those fights. When the fights are made, rarely do you hear of made fights. You hear like disputes over splits. Like you just don't really hear that. Are them big fights like that? Like we don't really know what the split of like going into those fights, all those Fury Wilder fights was. They just made those fights. Like when they actually sat down and started negotiating, it wasn't like when they start really having something serious, that shit just don't really leak out there. It only leak when somebody trying to make an excuse of why it's not trying to. And then it's like one side leaked and the other side leaked and it just turned into a mess. But when they really serious about that, you really never really get who getting paid what. Because they both, at the end of the day, they both gonna get paid a shitload of money. Like even if one side got 30% and the other one got 70, over a million pay-per-view buys, they both got paid handsomely.
Hell yeah.
You know what? You know what happened in this fight about the purses and why we didn't hear a whole bunch of talk on about it and divisions about all that, because they didn't leave it up to YouTube to have all that old commentary about what these fighters get paid. They made a deal quicker than anybody realized, and it was done. And they kept the money silent until it was time. And that's how you keep entering it out with all this silliness. And I'm glad they did that. Well, that's the way the fight game should be. We shouldn't have any say about what a fighter's getting paid.
That's a fact. And I respect Garcia for like we all know, if you watch boxing, Garcia been calling them out for two plus years. He call them out every time he win a fight. Listen, man, I'm undefeated. You undefeated. I won't tank. You know, if after every fight, who was that? Jim Gray. Jim Gray get in the ring and say, "Hey, what's next?" He said, "I won't tank. I won't tank." And then Tank accepted. I respect that too. Call them out. Call these boxers out, man. Let's get the big fights. Call them out, man.
Ryan understands what he's generating. He understood who is the biggest seat filler between himself and the rest of the guys at that weight division, which included Gervonta. He knew him and Gervonta were the biggest seat fillers out of all those fighters. Mm-hmm. He knew that was a fight to have. Yeah. And so he knew it could be epic, it could be something memorable, and he went for it. He wanted to get that bag. Ryan ain't no fool. Yeah. See, Ryan getting real dollars outside the ring as well as endorsements. So he understands getting this money a little bit better than some of these other fighters. So
now, if they were chasing, what about if they were chasing money? They'll run it back again. If they really chasing money, they'll do a rematch, and then the other side can make their excuses. For boxing, no. I'm talking about for money. If it was about money and they really trying to chase money, they can run that. Trust me, but I'm saying that if it's really about if it's really on the side of this guy, because I heard people saying that dude trying to cash out, yada yada yada. If he was really trying to do that, I know. I'm just saying, people saying foolishness. You know, if that was true, then they'll just do a rematch for nothing, and that'll just be what it is. Because that's still one of the big. Even if they run it back, that's still one of the bigger fights that's out there for both of them. That's still a bigger pay-per-view fight.
I disagree.
They will make some money. They'll make some money, but it won't be to this level.
Yeah, I disagree, Pittsburgh. I say
there's nothing at risk.
Thank you.
It wasn't at risk the first time.
No,
it wasn't at risk the first time.
The O was at risk. The excitement of the unknown and the O that they possess, both of them being undefeated, was at risk. That was the biggest thing in the fight. Some people who oppose Tank want to see him lose. You know, so the unknown was there then. The unknown has been answered now. So there's no real, reason for them to fight again.
Let's think about for Tank.
None of that.
Tank should. I think about this. Tank has no benefit for giving him a rematch right now. Now Tank should go on his journey. Now I ain't gonna lie. Well, Garcia said it. Garcia actually said it. Garcia said, "Look, I'm going back to the drawing board. Let me get a couple more wins under my belt, and then maybe we will rethink this rematch thing." And I think that's the smartest thing to do. Let Garcia go to his 140, and if he want to beat the top guys in 140, he's gonna have to beat a couple of them, and then let Tank go on and keep knocking niggas out. And then, if God willing, then they can come back and then it'll be round two. I think if they fight, I don't know, 4 years from now, 3.5, 4 years from now, I think it'll be more profitable.
That's different. That's different there. But right now,
that's how I look at it, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I'm speaking in which, if either of those guys take a fight, right, and it's not Haney and it's not Shakur, it's not going to be the level of eyeballs as their fight, even a rematch. It's not going to be that same level. It's just not going to be there.
But I think we know how boxing works. We know now one of them is about to take one of those fights next. Let's just be honest. Garcia maybe because
I don't know about that.
Hold on. Let me say this, Pittsburgh. I'm gonna say Tank ain't. Tank next fight is probably gonna be a tune-up fight for the next person he's gonna fight. Now Garcia, he's coming off a loss, so he benefits by trying to challenge the top guy at 140 right now, right? Garcia's next fight should be the top guy at 140, whoever that is. But Tank doesn't benefit by fighting. No, if he's gonna fight one of the people we want him to fight, cool. But we wouldn't be fucked up with Tank fighting
but
garbage
remember, Ryan didn't fight like this fight. Ryan's crew didn't want him fighting this fight. So I mean, he don't listen to those people. They didn't want like De La Hoya had already publicly said that he didn't want this fight. Like he initially was against this fight. So like his crew and what they're saying, I mean, they got some dissension on the plans on what they want him to do and what he's actually doing. He didn't necessarily listen to them because De La Hoya and them didn't want this particular fight. So going forward, I don't know if they're going to agree on the path going forward. They did a negotiation, but they wasn't really on the same track initially with this fight initially.
Yeah, but that's at 136. But Garcia is saying, listen, Garcia just said it, man. Garcia pretty much said my real weight is 140. So Garcia coming off a loss, he has a loss now on his record. Garcia benefits by going for the top dog in 140. For real. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all. If Garcia's next fight is not the top guy at 140, the general public don't give a fuck about his next fight. If he's not fighting Tank or the top guy at 140, we don't give a fuck about Garcia's next fight. And I'm just being 100. We don't care about his next fight. He can't. He just took a L, so he got to bounce back with a notable person, the top guy at 140, if not the top guy, the number 2 guy at 140. Or unless we don't really respect whoever you're gonna fight. I'm just being honest.
I kind of disagree. I hear what you're saying. I disagree with you though, bro.
All right, bro.
I hear you.
Who do you want to see him fight, Pittsburgh?
But no, that's like look, this is why I say to that. Like that guy already had a big following before he fought Tank this weekend. By him taking that fight and getting in there and not getting knocked out in the first round and showing somewhat of a decent showing, he earned some people respect for even taking the fight. It's certain things that he did earn people's respect. So like I don't think nobody thought that Ryan Garcia was this world beater. They thought he had a chance to beat him. Most people favor Tank. Most people, but they said that the guy had a shot at doing it. So I don't think he lost anything with that particular fight.
Pittsburgh, I'm not saying he lost. Who can he fight next, though? We don't want to see him fight a cab driver, right? We just saw you be stopped.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know. Yeah, so he has to fight somebody. He has to fight a top notch.
But I think that's where the problem is like his team. That's what I'm saying. Like his team, clearly those are the kind of fights that they want him to take. He didn't want to take that route. So I don't know if what kind of wedge that whole post conference crap they had going on and moving forward. I don't know where that system at. You know what I mean? Like De La Hoya is gonna want to protect his cash cow because that's where he get all his money. So and then at this point he don't look good because he making Ryan look like a damn fool with all that stuff him and Bernard doing. And if it would have been bad enough if one of them did it, but both of them fools dipped out.
Fact.
Like how both of them dipped. Just craziness. So by them doing that, it now you're making the fighter look good. Look like why the fuck you with these dudes? You should go to PBC. You should go to the Zone. You should go anywhere. Bob Arum. You got to be up under these clowns because truth be told, he promoted the fight itself. Him and Tank promoted that fight. So like I don't know where they go moving forward. Saying all of that, I don't know where that puts him with that team that he has going forward, what he's going to do. I don't know where the fuck that puts him at. You know what I mean? Like, I think that puts him in a weird situation with them people.
I feel like he got to fight the next top man, right? He's talking about this 140. He wants to fight the top man in 140. I think his next move is to fight, if not the top man, the second top man at 140. That's what I think Garcia's next move has to be. If he's not going to do a rematch with Tank, where does he go from go from here. He already said he didn't like fighting at 136. He didn't want to fight at 136. He keeps saying 140, that's his domain. He has to go attack the guys at 140.
Well, that's you gotta remember there's a lot of opportunities for him to fight without fighting a championship fight at 140 to make an exciting fight. There's a lot of that. I mean, he's not gonna have a problem there. But at the same time, he's got to get in line. He's not a champion going into 140. He's got to get in line. He can't just go up and demand a championship fight unless those guys choose him right now, because there's guys in front of him. And like, if he was coming in as a champion, it'd be different. But he's not a world champion, so he's got to get in line. But right now, there's fights up there for him that are not, world champions that still will make a great fight. He can still get a nice little purse out of it. He won't get what he just got, but he can get a nice purse out of it. Both of their stocks just went up. Both of their values just went up. So these guys are going to be fine, him and Tank, no matter who they fight next.
Nah, I get it. For real. And me, just like a casual boxing fan, yes, I do. I'm going to watch the next Garcia fight, no matter who he fights. If he goes out and fight a cab driver, then I'm going to say, Garcia, you bullshit. Because you talked all this shit about fighting the top man in 140, and then you fought. But I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch Garcia's next fight. I ain't gonna lie. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Yeah, he's gonna be all right.
I like how he handled that situation.
He wasn't ready for Tank. He wasn't ready for Tank. He wasn't ready for the Tank.
What he did, he just gave himself a nice little bump and raise for whatever fights he take from this point on.
Yeah, absolutely. He's gonna be the headliner. He's the A side. Whoever he fights now, he's the A side. Yep. Absolutely. But he just wasn't ready for Tank, man. The big dog, man. Who y'all think Tank should take next, man? Talk to me. Who should Tank take next?
He says he's okay with the one of Haney and Lomachenko, but we'll see how that works.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they do it. Him and Haney been banning for a minute now, so we'll see what happens with that.
Y'all think Tank can beat either one of them, or either one of them can beat Tank?
Yeah, I think it's close either way. Yeah, I think either way, because they're both boxers.
Hold on, you think Haney can beat Tank?
Who? Haney? Yeah, he can beat him. He can box him. Yeah, he can outbox him. Yeah. Because Tank started off real slow.
What is this narrative? Tank ain't a boxer. Hey, Pittsburgh, talk to me. What is this narrative that Tank ain't a boxer? Pittsburgh, do you think Tank is a boxer?
Tank start off slow. No, Tank start off real slow. And Haney gonna pile up them rounds, and depending on when he can't wait till the 7th round to start turning shit on with these guys. Either one of these guys, Loma or Haney. Because he'll look around and he'll be down a lot on these scorecards. He can't do that shit that he normally do.
Man, don't do that, Pittsburgh. That he could be down for 6 rounds and then whoever he fight going night, nigga. You know that, Pittsburgh. He make niggas go night, Pittsburgh. What are we doing? You watch boxing.
He got no. I'm not disrespecting his power, but what I'm saying is those guys are crafty, right? Like they not just standing in front of you. They grabbing, they holding, they create space. Like they are boxers. So it's a little bit more difficult. I'm not saying he can't do it, but you start getting later and later in rounds, you start getting behind that curve, man. I don't know. It'll be a good fight either way. Either one of those guys, it'll be a great fight. I think it'll be good with either one of those dudes.
Now those guys are great boxers. Some of the most excellent boxers in the game right now. But Tank has a high IQ. He's a thinker, but he also will get on your butt if you don't have enough power to keep him off of you. He will get on your butt, trap you up, and catch you and nail you. That's his bailout right there.
Now the caveat you said, thank you. The caveat you said is you don't let him get if you don't let him get close to you. If you let Tank get close to you, you going night. We've watched a lot of his fights, y'all. Yeah, we can say that niggas can box all you want to, but it only takes one. If you let Tank get close to you, you're going night. We just seen it. We done seen it too many times. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. I hate to be a Tank dick rider, but Tank put niggas to sleep, man. He's knocking them down. He knock them down, bro. You can box and strategic. You got this strategy and that strategy, but it just takes one, man. And Tank, it showed me he knocking him out, bro. For real. I was concerned about Tank in this fight. Even I was like, man, I don't know, Tank, man. This Garcia guy, he might can just pound on you and outbox you, and then he just knock niggas out, man. So I'm a guy where I gotta see it first. I gotta see it.
I figured, before the fight, I figured Tank was gonna handle this fight about like he handled the Barrios fight. The long guy who can hit. But I think Ryan has the better hands versus Barrios than himself. But Barrios the bigger person.
Well, I hope he do take the winner of Haney and Loma. That'll be a great fight for us as fans. That'll be an excellent fight. That'd be a really good fight.
Yeah, that's the one I want to see too.
Whoever wins that, if they fight, we'll see.
Who you got in that Pittsburgh? Haney or Loma?
Well, I don't know what Haney gonna look like. You know what I mean? Like Haney always get overlooked, right? To me, Haney is like how Tyson Fury was. Like where people just underestimated Tyson Fury because he looked sloppy. He looked fat. He looked sloppy. He looked a little clumsy. He looked like he can't. But when he got in that ring, he was what he was. He gave you the same shit every time. Haney seemed to give you the same thing every single time, right? And people talk about his pop and his power and all of that, but he's consistently doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So we'll see when he gets in there with Loma, because Loma's got to be kind of crafty. That'll be the best fighter he's ever fought. So we'll see, because Cambosa wasn't no damn Loma. So we're going to see.
Who you got? Who you got, homie? Side nigga. Who you got?
I'm going with Devin Haney for the fact of I truly think it's a 50-50 fight, but I'm going with Devin Haney for a couple of reasons. One, I like his boxing acumen. I think he's a very good boxer. I think he thinks well. I think that about both of them, actually.
Hey, right side backstage, Cal. Cal, right side backstage. Sorry about it, Central. Cal, if you vote right side backstage, go ahead. Sorry about it, Central.
All right. But I also feel that I got to be down with Black Power.
Black Power. I know, right? I know something. I'm biased too. I know exactly what you mean. Automatically, I got to go with the black guy too.
I'm hoping the blood.
But I also got to be.
Prevails.
Yeah, go ahead.
I say I'm hoping the blood prevails.
Yeah.
That melanin skin tone, that bloodline. It's something about it, man. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, especially when you got a guy who's poised, who's smart, who's got all the the tangibles, and I think it's a 50-50 fight, but I think Devin can pull it off, man. I really do.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I'm going Devin. I'm going Devin on that. I'm going Haney.
Yeah, and I like speaking of mindset, I like Haney's mindset. I'm a fan of Haney because what he did with that whole Cambosa thing, where he went into that man country, and at one point, the initial fight, it seemed like his father wasn't going to be able to go for whatever reason. He still was going to go. People was like, oh, he going to get robbed, he going to get this, and he and that. And he went over there and beat that man twice in his country and left. Like, I think that says a lot about a man when they're able to do that kind of shit. The same way, like when you're able to do that, and he was going to initially go, like I said, by himself without his father, his trainer, promoter. Like his dad wore a few hats. So not to have the support that you were earlier speaking of and know that you going into a whole nother country, fuck a ring, you going into a hostile country where the judges can really rob your ass. He went in there and beat the shit out of that man twice, convincingly, with no question, no doubt, and left. I think it says something to his mindset. So I'd be interested to see this fight. I mean, he's proven that he got the mindset of a champion to go in there and do that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact, homie. That's a fact. I love it. I love it when them fighters go into another man country and whoop up on them. I love that shit. Because that's part of it. You got to be able to play in the away game. You got to be able to play an away game. Any sport, you got to be able to go play an away game. For real.
Hey, Cal, if you up, right side in the background, Cal. Yeah, he beat the shit out of him so bad that he fired his whole crew. Remember, he fired the motherfuckers and they still had a contract and they ended up suing them. You know, that's how we figured out how much money he made because he said, fuck all y'all. He got rid of all them, got new trainers, got new everything. Cambosa got rid of all them motherfuckers.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he fired them all. Cambosa, after he lost, he fired them all and they sued him. And that's how we figured out how much his purse was.
On the last fight or the first fight? It must have been the last fight.
After he lost the first fight. When he lost the first fight, he got rid of his trainer. He got rid of all the motherfuckers, and they end up suing him. And part of the disclosure of that lawsuit, we figured out how much money he actually got paid from the first fight because they wanted wages going forward to his next fight and from the last fight. But Cambosa got whooped so bad, he switched everything up. Then even when he was doing interviews, he was talking about how he was going to be showing him different looks and he was going to do this and do that. Man, ain't none of that shit. But you can tell he broke him. He beat him in a way that he felt like he had to do something. Whatever he was doing that first fight, he recognized he couldn't bring that shit to the second fight.
Like speaking of that Pittsburgh, that's how Garcia was looking. Garcia was looking like I'm finna fire all you motherfuckers. De La Hoya, Hopkins, I'm finna fire all you motherfuckers, man. For real.
Yeah, he need to. I mean, he just need to go to another promotional company. He don't need them fools, man. I ain't seen Oscar build nobody up anyway. That's why all them dudes left up out of eventually went to PBC and Aaron. Most of them went to PBC. Most of his main fighters left to PBC. Some of them went to Aaron, but you see why? Because of this kind of foolishness right here. That stuff right there, that's unheard of.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I believe? I believe they were always managed and advised by Al Heyman. Oscar was the promoting company. You know, his company was the promotion company. Just like PBC got Tom Brown as the promotion company now. But they changed it up a little bit where he don't get all off in there like Oscar do and Golden Boy did. But they wouldn't work with Golden Boy because of Richard Schaefer.
I mean, at this point, though, that being a young dude, you know, them young dudes be on social media and people bashing them. Man, them young dudes ain't gonna take that kind of shit right there too tough, Santos, man. He gonna be looking for his pound of flesh, like we used to say it back in the day, man. Somebody got to pay for that shit. And at this point, it look like Golden Boy is they got to pay the cost at this point. So, you know, we'll see what happens going forward with that. But I wouldn't be surprised if he end up with Aaron on Aaron team or PVC or something like that going forward. Because they showed on the big stage not to be able to handle that shit. And this young dude seemed like he gonna be on the big stage going forward.
Yeah.
It's all about the contract, man. It depends on the language and the terms and conditions of the contract. Because don't forget, he re-signed with Oscar a few years ago. And I tell you, the Oscar's not gonna let him go because the boy makes money. He's not letting him go no time soon.
Well, he can buy his way out of the contract. I mean, it's always a number. It's always a number.
It depends on what it is, though.
Yeah, it's always a number.
And if it makes sense to do it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's his biggest payday. They picked the wrong day because he sure got a pocket full of money right now. So they sure picked the wrong day to do this stupid shit right here. And he is a very highly touted fighter right now. So them other promotional companies might grease the wheels a little bit. He got a pocket full of money, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I got a pocket full of stones. I got a pocket full of stones. Yeah.
Yeah, money made the world go round. He got whatever. I don't know what he gonna get paid, but he got a bunch of money. Other promotional companies ain't got that kind of fighter that's bringing in that kind of revenue. So I wouldn't be surprised if both figures just say, you know, they cut Oscar all the way out. Now, for Oscar, if they cut him out, his company on life support, because he ain't got nobody like that kid.
But I think he still got enough lesser name fighters on it and within the stable to keep him afloat.
Not like that, Santos. If that dude
I
leave,
know that. I
then
know
the way
that.
he leave,
That's why I
and
said
then
lesser
the
name.
reason,
That's why I said lesser
why he
name
leaving,
fighter.
yeah, the reason why he leaving, as soon as them dudes get an opportunity to leave, they gone. They just can't leave. They can't buy the way out. But as soon as they get an opportunity to leave, if that dude leave because of this shit, man, people talk, that dude, they out. They gone. He got a big problem. You better do something. We'll see. I mean, it'll play. We'll see what happens with it. Right now, I think they all trying to wait on the numbers to come through and the checks to clear.
Somebody's gonna ask you about. I can't think what it is. And
Yo,
I got a little friend. I took out. Well, let's just put it like this. Ain't nothing, no physicality has happened at all. And she already acting a fool, acting like she madly in love with her brother. I think it's a lot of what you call infatuation going on. I ain't trying to, some man. I don't know what's up with her, man. I mean, I've had a fix on females before, man, but she too old for all this here, man. And sometimes she made me think she bipolar. One minute she say one thing, next minute she say another. But then when I agree with what she's saying, like she try to be hard, right? So I say, yeah, I think we just need to, chill and not, worry about us. And cause you got a lot going on, this, that, and the third. Yeah, I do have a lot going on, and I don't think you like me like you said you did because people like somebody want to be where they move mountains and all that. Now I told the chick I move very slow. I told her that for a reason, So, but it was a big truth, you know. So anyway, when I agreed with her, she didn't like that answer. She wanted me to say, "Oh no, we can make it work." No, I ain't that type of dude. No, if you want to move on, move on. I'm not hope broke. I ain't never been hope broke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
I got 99 problems, all of them females. So
hey, Santos, you went to any of the Memphis games, the Lakers games? You been to any of those?
Yeah,
man?
I went to the first one, man. And
how was that, man?
Oh, it was nice excitement, man. I loved every bit of it. But I was, of course, I was for my home team. But I was happy to see the Lakers in the house and, put my eyes on LeBron and a few other players, with John Moran, all that. All that was good, man. But yeah, Memphis better get it together, man. They on life support right now.
Hell
They
yeah.
didn't have no chance. They ain't had no chance to beat them boys, man. They weren't gonna beat the boys, man. That stage too big for
I
them.
can't say that. They went to overtime in L.A. and they lost. I didn't see the game, but I heard a lot of people thought they were gonna win that game, and they didn't.
Nah, they're not gonna win that. That stage too big for them, Santos.
Right now, if Memphis could tie this thing up, man, let me tell you, I'll be there Sunday for Game 7. I promise you that.
Santos, you still in Nashville?
Yeah. I live in Smyrna, man.
Okay, all right, homie. Okay.
Yeah, but you don't think that
I drive to Alabama every night and back. I'm back home every day.
You drive Alabama every okay, all right, got you. What you got, CDL?
I do, but I don't have to have them to drive my trucks, but I do have CDLs, and them the only kind of drivers I hire CDL drivers. That's because they've had some kind of training, and I don't just want somebody jumping in the truck. They ain't had no type of training. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess I'm trying to figure out how you go to Alabama every day, then you come back home. It ain't.
I go through northern Alabama. See, like I just left Muscle Shoals. I'm on my way to Decatur right now.
It's for your job, though, right? You drive for your job.
Yeah, it's work.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. All right, go ahead, Pittsburgh. My bad, brother.
Oh, but hey, so y'all think that Memphis had a shot with the whole Lakers squad with that situation that they in with the playoffs?
Man, Memphis is done, Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
I don't know
they
Oh, I
what
might be
know
done.
I
that.
don't know what Santos
They
Oh,
might
they
be
was
talking
done
done
about.
now.
from the beginning.
Oh, they probably
Yeah,
done
they,
now, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying in the
yeah.
beginning before they played, they weren't done because they were number 2 in the West. You got to give
Yeah,
them a
nah,
shot.
that
absolutely,
don't mean.
absolutely. I thought Memphis would get him. I thought the young boys would get him. But
Nah, they
man,
ain't gonna get them. Nah,
LeBron do what LeBron
yeah,
do. You hear me? You hear me,
yeah,
Big Bird? And
yeah. I
LeBron,
hear
that's
you,
the
bro.
king,
That's
homie.
you got
Yeah,
to
that's
beat them.
20. That's a
I
20-year
tell you
bet.
this, I did notice that the Lakers started turning up at the right time, right before the playoffs.
Yeah, that's that experience.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that experience.
Man, Pittsburgh, I'm an old nigga, man. So I'm gonna always root for the old niggas, man. Let the
But
old,
I'm
old
a,
Now,
niggas can do what old
I'm
niggas do, man.
but I'm an older nigga, and I'm always gonna root for the home team, regardless.
yeah, I got
But I
you.
ain't,
You supposed
you
to.
know,
You supposed.
I'm
You
a
ain't wrong,
LeBron,
Santos.
I'm a LeBron fan, but I've never been a Lakers fan though.
Yeah, but I am a
Yeah,
LeBron fan, and I'm a
I
LeBron.
like LeBron. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you this,
yeah,
Pittsburgh. See, I'm that guy. I'm like you. I'm like you, Santos. I've never been a Lakers fan, but I am
me neither.
LeBron fan to the fucking
Yeah,
bone whistle. So wherever
yeah,
LeBron goes, those are my guys. He can
yeah,
go to
yeah,
fucking he can go to I don't know. He can go to fucking Sacramento. I'm fucking
yeah,
with him. I mean, wherever
yeah.
LeBron go, I'm fucking with LeBron, man. So I hated the Lakers my whole life. Ever since I was 5 years old, I hated the Lakers. But when LeBron went to the Lakers, I fuck with the Lakers. Like I'm that guy.
Nah,
I'm a bandwagon, whatever. I'm that guy.
nah.
You know
But
what
you
I mean?
know, the only Laker team I liked in my lifetime was Kobe Shaq. That Kobe Shaq, that man, them boys there was something serious, man. You couldn't hate but to like them dudes. Them boys
I
there,
hated
those
him,
some bad
Pittsburgh.
boys right there, man. Them
Pittsburgh,
was
I
some
fucking hated him.
bad boys,
I always like the players. I see there's been 2 teams in the NBA that I've never liked the franchise, Boston and the Lakers. But I've
Yeah.
always
Yeah,
liked the players though, and I give credit where the credit's due. I don't care.
yeah,
I don't care how white Larry Bird was. That was a cold dude on that court,
yeah.
man.
He
He
was
was a straight
cold,
killer.
man. Yeah, that dude was serious,
Yeah.
Kevin
man.
McHale was cold.
I like what
Robert
you saying.
Parrish,
Yeah,
he played his role.
Yeah.
yeah,
Dennis, he played his this Nate Archibald back in the day played his role. I mean, I give credence
yeah.
and credit to all good players, great players, or whatever. I don't care who uniform they put on, but I might not
Yeah.
like the franchise. I don't like the Cowboys, can't stand them. But
Yeah.
I give credit
Man.
to the players. I gotta give credit to the players, man. So you know,
I'm gonna say this, Santo. Look, I'm the definition of what you call a player hater, right?
Yeah.
I hated Michael Jordan. I hated him. I didn't. I hated Michael Jordan and I hated Kobe Bryant. So guess what I told myself? I'm not gonna be a hater my whole life. I'm gonna root for this young nigga LeBron. I'm finna root for this nigga because I'm not finna live my whole life hating on the greatest players that I ever watched in my generation. So I hated Jordan, I hated Kobe, and I said I'm gonna root for this nigga. And I rooted for LeBron, and I root for him from Miami to Cleveland to Los Angeles, wherever he go, I'm rooting for him, bro. I can't be a hater my whole life.
Hey, what y'all think about Phil Jackson and all the foolishness he got going on lately, man? Y'all heard about that?
I ain't heard nothing about it.
What's the latest on him?
Okay, so he did an interview. I don't know the news outlet, but he did an interview, and the guy was asking him about today's basketball. Does he watch today's basketball? He's like, oh, no, I don't like watching today's basketball. I can't stand it because they done turned it political because they put stuff on the court and trying to cater to one side or the other, trying to cater to a certain demographic. And I can't stand them putting politics in sports like that. I don't like that. And then he said, like, during the lockout, you know how they was putting names on the back of the shirt? They had like equal justice and some other shit. Like the inequality or some shit. And he made a joke saying that like he was watching with his grandkids and inequality knocked down justice, and him and his grandkids was laughing about it.
I don't know. Phil always been on that type of shit though.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I ain't never viewed him as a race. I always viewed him as a hippie like type guy.
Yeah, he's a hippie. Yeah.
You forgot the comments he made about LeBron though too? You forgot the LeBron comments he had where he was talking about. You don't remember he was talking about LeBron, and remember he got Rich Paul and what's the other dude that he got that LeBron got that he put
Worldwide West. Worldwide West.
Yep, them two. So he's called LeBron and his posse is taking over.
The posse.
Taking over the posse. They're taking over the NBA. Yeah. Like he had some real fucked up ass comments, and he also had some comments saying that that they needed to do something about the dress code because they all look like thugs. So he was happy to see that they had. Yeah, he just said some real crazy shit.
Well, see, you gotta. I hear what you're saying, but I think it has a lot more to do with the way he came. Okay, like we older. The kids behind us, we don't agree with everything they're doing, how they move. I think it has a lot to do with that for him. It's back. He played in an era where things were different. He coached in an era where things were different, and he just like to see it a little bit more. Because I'm gonna tell you, I don't like when I'm sitting at the game, man. I'm critiquing a lot of stuff myself because even if I'm watching on television, they let these guys walk at will now. I don't understand how you can just travel in the basketball game and it's all good, man. So it's a lot of things they allow. A lot of things they want.
I agree.
Look, they palm the ball.
I hear you.
Back in my day, that was carry. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, Santos, but nobody gonna mistake you for even slightly in the remote possibility of being racist or prejudiced. Like you can't mistake somebody for that. Like you do certain shit multiple times. I mean, your ass is what you is. I mean, you got some fucked up ass ways to the least. You got some real and look, even Robert Horry, they asked him about those comments. He said one time during the huddle when he was playing with Phil Jackson was telling them, the team during the huddle, like, hey, when I make a noise, he clap his hands or some shit, you come to the master. And then Horry's like,
oh shit.
I think I remember Horry said about that.
Yeah, like he has some like look, it might be ignorance. I get what you said, Santos. It might be ignorance and not in the bad light, but it is what it is. Like you could say some racially charged, fucked up ass, racist ass shit, and I mean it is what it is. It's still not good. It's still fucked up shit. I mean we could say it's unintentional, but it's still racist, uncharged, fucked up ass shit. And he's an old white man that just don't give a fuck. He know at this point, he ain't no damn fool.
Yeah, I think he's one of those type of coaches though. He was familiar with coaches being in charge, and he wanted to keep it like that unless you work with a Michael Jordan or a Kobe Bryant. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think he had more influence. I ain't gonna say more influence, but more leadership ahead of Kobe than he did Mike. Mike was. They both were there before he got there to those teams. But at the same time, I think he was able, Kobe being a little bit younger, he was able to, have a little bit more guidance for him than it was for Michael.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question. Can we cut Scotty a break, Scottie Pippen? Because Scottie Pippen called Phil Jackson racist. And when that Last Dance came out, people were just saying he was bitter and he was just saying shit. A lot of shit that he done said now, it don't look that bad right now.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it come out that Phil Jackson is racist. Phil Jackson is racist. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
But if you're a player, I can see your perspective of that because some of the shit he might have said or did, I can see why a player would have said that. I just think that people attacked Scottie Pippen and just disregarded him because they tried to do the comparison between him and Jordan and they made him a lesser player. So whatever he said, it just didn't matter. And I think that's crazy because the man, they would neither one of them would have won without each other. So I don't even get the comparison where people just want to completely disregard that man's experience while he was on that fucking team. That's crazy how people do that type of shit nowadays. And they just tried to make it seem like he was just bitter. He was just bitter. They don't need to listen to him. He just bitter and he mad because he didn't get the accolades and he didn't get the money. And that's what they made it seem like.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they said Phil was
contractually negotiated and things like that while all that stuff was going on. Of course, Michael he accepted less money to make sure the rest of his team get paid. But at the same time, Scotty, he didn't play along for quite a few games when he was in negotiations with him. and had a lot of stuff going on internally. So I can see him feeling bitter legitimately for various reasons, and he probably do have more insight than the average player
Yeah.
about the statement he made about Phil Jackson, because they may have had some headbutts that made him feel that way about Phil. So I can't disrespect or discount what he's saying, because he was there, he was a part of what was going on, he was in the midst of it, he know what was happening. But like you said, nevertheless, Mike wouldn't have got those rings without Scotty, and vice versa.
Nah, yeah. And I don't. I think basketball is one of those sports where it's weird, where it's a team sport, but we so ultra focused on like one player, where this one guy he get all this attention and all the accolades and all the blame, and it just don't. It's kind of strange. And if the guy that's supposed to be the main guy don't take the shot at the end, it's like he get ridiculed for it, even though it's the right play for him to do. Like we've been seeing dudes that can score a lot of points, and they don't. Like Carmelo, for like a good 8 or 9 years, he could score any kind of way he wanted to score. Because nobody stopped Carmelo Anthony from scoring. But like he didn't have those type of teams. I mean, he literally could score from any spot on the floor, and wasn't nobody gonna stop him. So that's not really like the shit that people be saying is crazy. Like just because you can score a bunch of points don't mean you gonna win nothing.
But you know how it is. A lot of people just like to paint their own narratives and come up with their own stories about how they feel something is going on or what's happening in the midst of a situation, whether it be some truth to it or not. More likely not any truth to what they're saying, just to get the attention of others, build their name up. You know,
Yeah.
internet-wise, clickbait is what they're looking for to drive traffic to themselves and their site. It's just a whole lot of bullcrap that goes on that people don't think about.
Remember, we all from that era too. Now, y'all remember, Michael Jordan wasn't the most loved person during the time that he was winning championship. Everybody, like, it was a whole slew of people that didn't fuck with Michael Jordan like that. Like it's not like it is now where people just there like they can't say nothing against Michael Jordan. It was a whole side of people who didn't want to deal with Michael Jordan, and they wasn't all white people. There's a lot of black people that didn't fuck with Michael Jordan because they said he was selfish. Whatever the case may be, they just didn't want to. They didn't like his brand of basketball. So it's different.
That's good. It goes to it was the same effect that Mayweather had on boxing. Same effect.
Yep. Muhammad Ali, same shit. When he was boxing, like after people, I always try to act like they louder and love these people when they was actually doing it. They wasn't getting that kind of. They wasn't getting that kind of shit.
I was a Muhammad Ali hater because I was raised to be a hater of Ali since I was 4 years old. I just felt like he talked too much. I was side with everybody else, my mom and all the rest of them. But then when I got older and after I had formal boxing training and actually got to study the sport and then got to recognize the man for what he was doing, understood what he was doing, more about what he fought for and what he was about. All due respect. I think he's one of the best to ever lace up a pair of gloves. And I have all due love and respect for Muhammad Ali. He's one of my favorites now. He's been one of my favorites since I was probably, junior high school or something like that. Because I was still studying him from grade school. Well, I didn't really study him in grade school. I just decided I didn't like him because that's where I was taught. But from junior high to high school, I learned to appreciate that man and what he was standing for, what he was standing on, and what he did in the ring. I was at some cousins of mine. They live in Bordeaux. Bordeaux was one of the first sections of Nashville to get cable. So I used to go out to my cousins' house to watch cable, And I saw my cousins them had told me because they knew I was boxing. So they told me, man, Ali, bad boy. When he was younger, man, he did this and that. So that's when I first saw the younger highlight, film of Ali on cable at my cousin's house. Ali was the coldest thing I had ever seen on 2 feet in a ring. When I saw that, I said, my God. I said, man, he's quick, fast, and he's no one. The boxing, the sport of boxing, had never seen anything like Ali before Ali became Ali. So he changed everything,
Hey,
man. So
hey,
he had
Cal
so
and
many.
DJ, we got people backstage. If y'all listen, Cal and DJ, somebody backstage. Go ahead, Cinto. Sorry.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, I salute to y'all, man. I'm finna roll out, but man, good conversation, brother Santos.
Absolutely.
Brother
Hey, man,
Pittsburgh.
come over and
Hey,
holler at us
hey,
more
I'm
often,
gonna tell
bro.
y'all what I did though.
Yeah,
Listen,
man.
now listen, brothers. I do a live stream. I just put my link in the private chat. So if y'all go in the private chat, man, click that, subscribe to my channel, brother. Y'all always. I do an open panel just like this, and if y'all come and join me, bro, that'll be a beautiful thing, homie. Y'all fuck with me,
Okay.
man.
Hey,
And I'm
put your
Yeah,
put your
always.
link
definitely.
put your link in the regular chat too, so
I
Yeah,
others
don't.
can
yeah.
get it.
I don't know if I can because I'm not a mod. Yeah, I'm not a
I
mod.
think I think I think you can type
Yeah,
it.
you can. Yeah, you can type it in this one. Yes, Kyle don't block it from put in there. So put it in once you log off, put it in the regular chat too.
Okay.
Just plug just verbally plug. What's the name of your channel? What time you usually be on?
Born Rich Club Films, man. For real. Y'all fuck with me. And
What
the
time?
boxing, yeah, Born Rich Club Films. So you know what I'm saying?
What times you usually on, brother? What time you usually on?
What times I go on? I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah.
y'all. I go on normally like these times, right? Because I got a big UK following. And
Okay.
the UK is 6 hours ahead of us. So like right now it's 10 a.m. in the UK. So I may go
Okay.
live and just do something like just to wake my UK family up. But yeah, I got
Okay.
a big UK family, man. Coop has been over there. I think my brother in the boxing section. I think he came over there and shot the shit with us a little bit, brother. But yeah, man. Come fuck with me over there. I'm always gonna fuck with y'all over here. I'm gonna promote this channel. My brother, the boxing section. I'm gonna promote his channel. I've promoted his channel before. I always promote Coop channel, the podcast about nothing, man. So yeah, I want like this shit can be big, y'all. I just want to create a network, bro, and I just want more brothers, especially especially brothers from America. So if y'all come over and fuck with me, homie, that'd be lovely. But yeah, man, I'm finna sign out, man. I'm about to sign
All right,
out.
brother. Good to talk to you, man. Good to
All right,
talk to you, bro.
Rich, man. It's a pleasure, man.
Nah, it's a pleasure, homie. I'll catch y'all on the rebound, man.
Hey, one homie to the next. It's all love, my brother.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Good shit, brother. Y'all boys be safe, man.
All right, brother. Yes, and so that history, because remember they did that to T.O. Remember how they dogged out T.O. and talked trash about T.O. the whole time he was fighting, man, and playing, and man, that dude, when you look back on his career, man, that's how Skip Bayless and them got their whole that they got their status. Called that man all out his name, calling him Team Obliterator and all this foolishness. Like that's how that dude got his whole got down. And T.O., he broke his hip or what did he break? His leg? He broke some shit.
Ankle or something was messed up.
Yeah, he broke something real bad and came back. Falling. They had got so disrespectful. Remember, since they was telling him, you sure you want to come back? Because he missed the whole playoffs. And they were asking him, you sure you want to come back? Because you might mess up the team chemistry. Stupid shit.
Right.
Like, what? Just ignorance. Like, man, you listen to some of the stuff some of these people do. Yeah, he's balling. They wouldn't have been in that game if he would have been on there.
Yeah, exactly. I think they did. Was that the year the kid King was there?
I think so. I want to say, McNabb was the quarterback. McNabb was the quarterback. No, he played in the playoffs. He played, came back and played. I mean, remember they really wasn't speaking to nothing at that point, man, because he felt like he had some stuff against that dude. And McNabb turned out to be a something by itself.
Yeah.
They don't really talk bad about quarterbacks, man. But that dude does turn out to be something by itself. But that narrative that they had against T.O. was crazy.
It was.
Because on the field, that dude wasn't nothing but the truth, man.
Yeah, absolutely. They held him out in the Hall of Fame just on hate.
Yep. Even when they put him out, when nobody pick him up, he still could have played for another 2-3 years.
Yeah. I think he'll be effective right now for somebody. He stay in shape.
Yeah.
The man stay in shape, man. I ain't never seen him out of shape, man. He's always training and exercising, take care of his body.
Yeah. No, he should be at least a coach or something, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Deion Sanders calls him in from time to time to work with his receivers.
Yeah. He should be at least. Now where T.O. came from? Was he from Alabama?
Alabama, yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Country boy.
Mm-hmm.
Old country boy. Yeah, that dude, that was nothing but the truth, man. He ain't getting no respect. Yeah, nothing but the truth. Him, Michael Irvin, got a lot of off the field, but none of that stuff really hit the field. Like when them boys was on the field, they was balling.
Yeah.
None of that stuff really affect what they had going on in the field, though. None of it.
No.
But nowadays, they wouldn't be able to do that stuff with the news cycles we have because they'd be so highly criticized, especially Michael Irvin. With all the stuff he was doing, man, ain't no way he would have made it. They would have ran him out of Dallas.
Yeah, they trying to railroad him recently.
Yeah. I mean, that's a different situation. He kind of did it to himself. You get that drunk where you don't even know what's going on. That's not good. You get so drunk, you're in public, and you at a function where it's sponsored by the company, and you don't know what's going on. That ain't smart. That's not good. Not saying that
I don't see why he's
guilty, but he's not smart. Go ahead.
I don't think he did that to him. So I just thought that there was some people hating on him at the hotel, man, and try to get him in trouble.
Mark Nash played on his show where they got a surveillance video of him and this lady, where he walked up to the lady, and whatever he said, there's no audio. The lady pulled her hands back.
She walked up to him.
Yeah, but when they had the interaction, the lady snatched her hands back and she walked off. And then she went directly to whoever her manager or supervisor was, right? And she told him whatever she told him. The problem is that he said that he was so drunk, he don't remember. So now whatever she say, you don't remember. She could be telling a bold slave slide, but you don't remember nothing. That's a problem.
Well, let me ask you, is that case still going or did they drop it? Because I thought the video had vindicated him pretty much, but I don't know if they dropped the case or not. I ain't heard nothing about that part. I just hadn't heard anything else about it since the video came out.
He never had any criminal charges. He was trying to sue the hotel.
Yeah, he was countersuing.
He was suing the hotel. He was trying to sue the hotel, but he can't really sue the hotel because the hotel did what they were supposed to. Like if I'm a manager of a hotel and my employee come to me and tell me, hey, this dude, whatever he did, like I can't let you go back to work and let the dude stay at the hotel. Like, no, then I'm gonna be liable for the employee. And then when they go and ask him, he don't remember shit. Like, oh, you got to go. The bare minimum, you got to. His problem is with Disney, but he can't really sue Disney because they got one of the moral clauses in most of their contracts, where if you do something immoral, they can get rid of your ass. Remember how they did Paul Pierce? So he can't really do nothing. So I don't see how he was just really gonna win any of that anyways. He didn't have any criminal charges, like he had no assault charges or none of that. He was trying to get some money out of the hotel.
That's a case where a man is guilty until proven innocent. Because he didn't do anything on that videotape that I could tell that should have jeopardized his job.
No, but that's Disney. That's not the hotel. That's Disney.
I understand that. That's why I said jeopardize his job.
Yeah,
he worked for Disney. I think Disney should have held up until he found out the truth or whatever.
Yeah, but he couldn't. But he can't sue Disney because they got a morality clause in it. So that's why he sued the hotel. So he's kind of like in a lose-lose situation with that one.
But if he didn't do anything that was against moral, that was immoral, then why wouldn't he be able to sue them for wrongful termination?
Well, because remember, there's two different things where you talk about. You got sexual harassment right? And then harassment doesn't have to be nobody physically throwing you on the ground. That could be them verbally saying some shit.
Yeah, I understand that.
So so that's the problem. Like we don't know what she said that he said. That's the problem. So if she's saying and he said something that was, come over here and suck me, whatever, like that's sexual harassment. So then they have to act on that. So I don't see how he wins with the hotel. And if Disney's got that recording, he's saying on camera he don't remember, then I don't see how he's going to win either way. Plus, they got a moral clause in there. So, like I say, he kind of put himself in a bad situation with that one by not remembering, not knowing what's going on. I mean, stuff happens. It is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, just bear with me for a second. I got to call this guy and let him know I'm going to pull up.
All right.